afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Titan Football, Memorial Field inside Bury Stadium, where today the Westminster Titans take on the Hiram Terriers. How you doing? Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes. Ethan Kurtz, our sideline guy, but first we welcome in Jacob. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Mark. Great day for some Westminster football. Senior recognition day for the football team and the cheerleaders. Can't be much better than this.
Yeah, a lot going on today. And first off, let's see the three keys from Westminster coach Scott Benzel.
The first key for Coach Scott Benzel going to be limiting the big plays. Hiram, a very explosive offense. Sean Tejeda, second in the PAC in passing yards. Got to limit the quarterback for the Terriers. Second key going to be grind them. The line of scrimmage, be physical with this Terrier team. And last but not least, Coach Benzel wants a non-offensive score, whether it be special teams or defense. A big play to break from a non-offensive player.
It's Westminster taking on Hiram, and it's right here on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington, offering pizza, stromboli and calzones, subs, wings, and salads. Pizza Joe's open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 209 South Market Street in New Wilmington.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Riardo's Bar and Grill, offering homemade Italian dishes, game nights on Mondays, and trivia nights on Wednesdays. Located at 1223 East Washington Street in Newcastle. Riardo's Bar and Grill, opening at 4 p.m. every day and closed on Sundays. Visit riardos.com or call 724-698-7259.
Welcome back to Bury Stadium, Memorial Field. Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz. We'll hear from Ethan shortly. Coach Scott Benzel's in year 12 at Westminster, the third winningest coach in Westminster College history. Now 11 straight non-losing seasons, also 28-9. Following a loss, he wins at 69% of his games, 82-37. Ben Kelly sat down with Coach Benzel on Titantown Sports. Let's listen in.
What have you seen from the Terriers that makes them set them apart as the usual suspects among the PAC?
Yeah, they're not a typical offensive group. Their head coach is a former wide receiver, so that's what they major in. They are very, very explosive on offense. I love the quarterback. He is a competitor. He's thrown about 4 targets consistently. Those guys are averaging close to 400 a game and through the air. So explosive on offense. Defensively, I think they're a little bit underwhelmed in terms of how they're playing. So they're going to be a team that we got to keep that offense to bay.
Saturday marked your 11th straight non-losing season in your 12 years here at Westminster. What has allowed you to thrive in this town throughout your tenure?
I'm a pretty consistent person. I don't necessarily ride the highs or the lows too much. I think one of the things that I remember when I graduated, I was fortunate enough to be team MVP in my college season, and our head coach made that mention of how consistent I was as a player. He knew what he was getting from me every single day. And I think that's been our approach here as far as a staff, and we do things the right way. We try to emphasize details, and it's been a really great fit for us, and always appreciate being here and being involved with the Titans.
It's the last home game on Saturday. That always means it's going to be a lot of emotions with Senior Day coming up. We talk a lot about the young guns on this team, the class of 2029, but when you look on Dylan Sleva, Mason Manis, Ty McGowan, Tate Beachy, what can you say about the class of 2026 as a whole?
Those guys are awesome, great individual, but collectively as a group, they really bought into what it was to be a Titan in terms of our standards and being leaders on the field, obviously, but more importantly, being great guys off the field. There's not a young person that's involved with our program or even the support staff that wouldn't have anything but great things to say about how they carry themselves. So. Great football players, better human beings. They'll definitely be missed, and I appreciate everything they've done for us.
Thank you, Coach Benzel. Thank you, Ben Kelly. Time now to send it down to the third member of our crew. It's Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. For Hiram, it's Coach Xavier Dupree in his first season unleashing the Terriers out of the kennel. Coach Dupree previously spent time as the wide receivers coach and the strength and conditioning coach at Hiram from 2020 to 2022. Most recently, he was down in North Carolina at Division II Catawba, where he was also the wide receivers coach. He played wide receiver at Division I Middle Tennessee State, and he's guided Hiram to their first 3+ win season since 2016.
It's time now to honor America with our national anthem. marching band under Aaron Himes. We heard from Ethan telling us a little bit about first-year coach Xavier Dupree. Let's get some words from Coach Dupree.
What I've seen, just looking, they have a good football team. Looks like they have a good home crowd. We'll get to see that later in the year. Looks like they bring out a lot of people and everything. But looks like a good football team. Coach Bizzle does a great job with those guys. Look like they play hard and they fly around. So I'm excited to see them when we go out there later this year.
And what kind of football team do you hope Hiram is going to be?
It's like fast and physical. I want to be a team that opposing teams are happy to be done playing once we're done. But just want the guys to play hard. Want them to play hard. Not think just be able to use their God-given abilities. They were blessed with the abilities that they have, and so be able to go out there and play and put those on display.
Thank you, Coach Dupree. Let's go back down sidelines to Ethan with the weather check.
Thank you, Mark. It's a cool 54 degrees here, 94% cloud coverage, so we won't see that much sun today. The snow holding off until tomorrow night, the rain behind us yesterday, so overall some fair weather for some PAC football.
Thank you, Ethan. Time to look at the PAC standings as we are here today.
President's still atop the PAC standings as the season's gone on, undefeated in conference play. Grove City and Geneva right behind WJ at 5-1. Westminster and Case tied at 4-2. Allegheny and Waynesburg 3-4. Hiram 2-4. St. Vincent and Teal 1-5. And Bethany still looking for that first win of the season.
Of course, Westminster taking on Hiram this afternoon. Let's look at the other games around the PAC.
Yeah, Mark, something about this week. No nightcap, all afternoon games this week. Grove City and Case, St. Vincent and Waynesburg, Bethany and Teal, and Washington and Jefferson versus Geneva.
Westminster Titans' schedule started with the loss to Marietta. 3 straight wins. Back and forth wins since then, including last week's 57-21 win over Allegheny. In that game, the Titans outgained the Gators 562-357. 251 of those yards were rushing, plus 5 rushing touchdowns. Clayton Cannon with 100 yards and a couple of scores. Lamont Austin, a couple interceptions. Andrew Carana, career high 3 field goals in a game, plus a long of 39. And Bright Cannon, 8 catches for 136 to lead the Titans. Let's take a look at Hiram.
Looking at Hiram, rough start out of conference against Heidelberg, a 65-27 loss. Got their first win of the season against Oberlin, then conference play started. Since then, Hiram, 2 conference wins, 1 against St. Vincent and 1 against Bethany. Last week against Teal, they were outscored 22-6 in that third quarter. Kept it close for the most part, and then Teal took over in that second half, beating the Terriers 48-20.
Westminster has some history with Hiram. Now back in the PAC for the Terriers. Last time they met was back in 2016.
Looking at that last matchup in 2016, also the largest margin of victory in the series, 40-0 Titans win. The first matchup back in 1904, Westminster got the win as well, 23-0. Westminster leads the all-time series 15-3-1 and on a 2-game win streak.
Some of the comparison stats for these two teams, the one that jumps out at me is the Titans giving up just 13.4 points per game, which is number 1 in the PAC. Also love that rush defense at 72.9 games given up. They've held opponents now 7 straight games under 100 yards rushing, and they're amongst the top. Also rushing offensively, number 1 of the pack at 176 yards per game. Take a look at page 2.
Taking a look at some more stats for this matchup, Hiram definitely has the edge through the air, about 356 yards through the air, 6th in D3 in passing there. They also give up more than the Titans, about 262 through the air. Offensively, Hiram totally has 442 yards per game, but also give up about 430.
Some of the key players for this afternoon for Westminster, it's freshman quarterback Quentin Good. 5 games, 3 starts, is now thrown for nearly 1,000 yards. Newcomer of the week last week in the PAC with a 292-yard and 2-touchdown game against Allegheny. Bright Cannon leads all Titans with 30 receptions, nearly 21 yards per catch, number 2 in the PAC. And Clayton Cannon, another 100-yard game last week, number 3 in the PAC with almost 70 yards per game. Dylan Sleva, the tackling machine, leads the PAC with 85 tackles, amongst the top in all of D3 tacklers at nearly 11 tackles per game. And Gene Gary Joseph, he can wreck the game up front. 3 sacks, 17 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, an interception, 5 pass breakups, 2 quarterback hurries, a fumble recovery, and a forced fumble. Fill in the stat sheet for Gene Gary Joseph.
Yeah, Gene does a little bit of everything. The main man for Hiram, the field general, the signal caller, Sean Tejeda, high marks, 1 97 and 318 passing this year, 2,626 yards, 22 touchdowns, all good for second in the PAC behind Geneva's quarterback Caleb Romano, 7th in D3 in passing yards, and 12 straight games of 200-plus through the air. The receiver duo starting off with Kevin Dykes, 33 receptions for 704 yards, good for 5th in the conference, 7 touchdowns and 100 yards per game for Dykes. Jordan Stapleton, 46 catches for about 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, averages 85 per game for him. Defensive back Cade Scott, 5 interceptions, averages about 19 yards per punt return and 39 tackles on the season. Last but not least, Cole Terreri, 61 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 3 QB hits for the backer for the Terriers.
Let's take it to the center of the field as Anthony Lascola, our referee, has the coin toss.
Tails, good call. Tails, you've won the toss. You want the ball. Which way we're going to play? You're going to kick away from the clock. Okay, go ahead and switch. Hiram's won the toss. They've elected to proceed. Shake them up. Let's get out here for the kickoff, guys.
Thank you, Anthony Lascola. The rest of our officiating crew today includes Samuel Johns II, Patrick Orman, Kyle Resinovich, Robert Dooley, Dan Cosma, and Trey Tarantini. Offensive, and get Jack Thorne on the game clock, Al Dick on the play clock as well. Westminster Titans on Senior Recognition Day. If you joined our broadcast early, you got a chance to see some of that ceremony, but Gene Gary Joseph, Nate Wadsworth, Watt Phillips, Demir White, Ty McGowan, Jake Miller, Tate Beachy, Marcus Finkley, Mason Palich, Dylan Sleva, Jack Bible, Solomon Davis, Gage Jagonski, Christian McDowell, Mason Manis, Caden Crown, Dante Campani, Ben White, R.J. Scott, Andres Vallejo, all recognized as football players. Leah Buchan and Jesse Vion as cheerleaders. And we got a couple of broadcasters as well, Peyton Mellon, Ben Kelly on Senior Day as well. So that's a big day here at Westminster. It is electric for this last home game.
No, to say the least. I mean, the crowd's jumping, the players are jumping, excited to get this last matchup at Harold-Burry Stadium for this season underway. A lot of smiles, a lot of hype for the football team.
As you saw moments ago, Hiram won the toss. They elect to receive. It's an electric offense for the Hiram Terriers. Let's take a look at the Hiram starting offense.
Looking at the offense for the Terriers, as we mentioned, the signal caller, Sean Tejeda. In the backfield with Tejeda, going to be R.J. Johnson, the receiver trio of Kevin Dykes, Devon Lewis, and Jordan Stapleton. Looking at the line, Cade Allman, Mikel Leotsakis, Taylon Frick, Michael Wise, and Jesse Zinnerman, and the tight end, Dylan Hargis.
And Westminster will have their defense on the field, a suffocating defense, number 1 in the pack, 19th in D3 in points allowed. Let's take a look at that Titan defense.
A few of those seniors you mentioned on that defense, Gene Gary Joseph and Wes Donner, the defensive ends, Sonny Casanzale, Mason Manis up front, Dylan Sleva, Mason Palich, and Aiden Fletcher, the linebacking trio. The DBs, Lamont Austin, Beandre Charles, Gavin Nagy, to say the least. Westminster defense, as you mentioned, been very good throughout this season. Last DB for Westminster going to be Marcus Finkley, the free safety today.
Corona is getting the ball teed up for Westminster, and we are moments away. Titans in all blue, head to toe with a white helmet, white numbers. Hiram will wear blue helmet, will wear a white jersey and white pants this afternoon. Corona is set to kick it up to twin returners, including the electric Cade Scott and Ricardo Jimenez. And it'll come near side to Jimenez at 10. And he's to the 15, and he's bottled up and ripped out at the 15. Quickly down the field for the Titans, and leading the charge was Tyree Mitchell.
Tyree Mitchell and Cody Haas in there, as well as Aiden Fletcher. Fletcher, a starter on defense, gets down on special teams too. Big hit, setting the tone early for Westminster.
Heard those starting lineups. Boy, Tejada has had an amazing season. 12 straight games going back to last year as well for Tejada to give him a great start of throwing 200-yard passing games, 12 in a row to start his career.
Yeah, he's had an electric season thus far for the Terriers. 22 touchdowns, second in the PAC.
Titans quickly with some press coverage up on the line of scrimmage. As Tejada will start with 4 receivers in the set. Take the snap, fake a handoff, quick slant. It's incomplete, threw it behind the intended receiver, Dylan Hargis.
Yeah, Sean Tejeda can't find Harkis early. in this matchup. Got to set the tone for Hiram. We talked about how good they are passing the ball. Westminster very good at containing the pass as well.
In press coverage, everybody within about 10 yards of the line of scrimmage right now. Good to see Gavin Nagy back, number 16, back as a free safety coming back from a finger injury. 2nd and 10. Fake handoff, quick throw left side, and that pass caught. Breaking out of the tackle is going to be Dykes. And Dykes will run to the sideline, get out to about the 24-yard line, out of bounds just short of the first down.
Good for his 34th catch of the season. About 715 yards and only 34 catches, Mark. Definitely a deep ball threat that Sean Tejeda loves looking for early.
No doubt has a long reception of 84 yards on this season. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Opening drive here for the Hiram Terriers. Coaches feel this is a very good offense with a very good quarterback when we talk about this squad. And right now it's Amar Lakes who is in at the quarterback spot. 3 receivers right, and it's a handoff up the middle, and getting the first down is R.J. Johnson with a run up the middle.
Interesting to see the quarterback being Amar Lakes. We'll keep an eye on Tejeda and if he's suiting up today or not for Hiram.
Definitely a surprise. It's something we didn't even notice till
Didn't
like the 3rd play.
Yeah,
of the
didn't
game.
catch it. He threw lefty, and I was like, I didn't think Tejeda was a lefty.
3 receivers right to the left, 1st down and 10 from the 24. Quick throw over the middle. This time it's caught. And across the 30-yard line is Hargis yet again. This time completed to Hargis. Go ahead.
Dipping and dunking down the field right now, taking what they can get with the backup QB in. The trio of receivers for Hiram, Lewis, Stapleton, and Dykes, one of the best groups across the PAC.
Yeah, just looking at the stats, there's a ton of players with 10 catches, a ton of players with a lot of yards. This is a wide open offense. 2nd down and 5 from the 33 for Hiram. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Fake handoff, quick throw and a slant, and it's too high for Dykes. Incomplete. Dykes took a hard hit from Nagy and is a little bit slow to get up.
Yeah, looking for the RPO there, a little high on the slant ball. Nagy kind of undercuts Dykes there. Luckily, he gets up on his own power, walks back to the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 3rd down and 5. Hiram moving left to right to start this game. Terriers with a record of 3-5, 2-4 in the PAC. It's the most wins they've had since 2016, matching the 3 wins.
Xavier Dupree in his first season here has definitely set the tone and kind of changed the mindset of this Hiram team.
Receivers split to each side. Fire in left side, and it's incomplete. Diving attempt on that far side for Hargis. And incomplete from Amar Lakes. Amar Lakes is a 6', 190-pound sophomore out of Cleveland Heights, getting some action today.
Going to cause Hiram to trot Luke Hoskins out there for a punt early in this one.
Lakes on the season is 12 of 22, coming in with an interception, 3 touchdowns. Dosora is back to return the punt with pressure coming from Westminster. It's a short punt. It's going to bounce short of the 40, take a nice roll for Hiram. And at the 38-yard line, Westminster will come out offensively. Let's take a look at the Westminster offense.
Westminster offense, the defense has been stout in the season. The offense has been electric as well. Starting off with the QB, Quentin Good in the backfield, going to be Clayton Cannon. The receiver trio of Christian Bailey, Lawrence Grayson, and Bright Cannon. Brock Koval starting at tight end across the line, left to right. Dante Campani, Kyle Crown, Jack Kreider, Gage Dagonski, and Braden Micah.
And the Titan offense going to run 2 backs out there to start as Demir White will come out there with Clayton Cannon. Wing left, slot left I should say, is Bright Cannon. Motion behind Good, and a quick throw outside caught by White. 35, 40, 45, 50. Moves back inside of the 45, and a nice pitch and catch. Good to Demir White, and the Titans are already in Hiram territory.
Something to look at is getting the running backs involved in the passing game early. Demir White, the 3rd down back, kind of the receiving back out of this 2-back group. And good to see Demir getting active early.
Demir White on the season has been good as a pass catcher and as a runner. Titans will have 3 receivers on the right side of the line. Bright Cannon, the lone receiver, to the left. And Good looking for Bright, fires a quick turn and is going to hit him at the 40-yard line. Good for about 4 yards.
Little hitch pattern there for Bright.
That might be setting something up later.
Yeah, Cannon usually in motion. I was just going to say in motion or going deep. Definitely not his forte on the little sit-down routes, but one of the more electric receivers after the catch.
We'll keep an eye on that as if that's trying to set something up later. Cade Scott, who was on defensive coverage of Bright Cannon, 5 interceptions and 6 pass breakups this year, their best defensive back. 2nd down and 7. First drive for the Titans. In motion is Bailey, and they'll throw it. Quick throw, right side, caught by Grayson to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, and an ankle tackle will knock him down in the red zone.
Lawrence Grayson been gathering a lot of momentum over the last few weeks with that connection between him and Quentin Good. As I mentioned, they played in JV, stepped up now to varsity, and have not missed a beat.
Grayson has been one of the favorite receivers since Quentin Good has taken over as the starting quarterback. A touchdown catch against Grove City earlier this year, and I think this one's coming back. A Titan hold. Kind of at the point of the attack, right where Grayson made the catch, a hold going to be called on Christian Bailey.
Another receiver that's found his footing this season. Career versus season stats, only 1 catch for 28 yards last season. This season, 19 for 219 and 2 touchdowns along a 42. The young guys and the young quarterback have a connection early.
Wide receivers kind of really have upped their game since the freshman Quentin Good has kind of taken over at the quarterback spot. Has one game already of over 300 yards, does Quentin. 2nd down and 16. Good back to pass, quick throw, right side, caught by Bright Cannon. Cannon makes a man miss, is around the 40, still on his feet. He's to the 30, he's to the 20, he's gonna go! Bright Cannon into the end zone for a touchdown.
Who needs to set anything up deep, Mark? You can have your receiver take the hitch all the way to the house. 50-yard touchdown for the sophomore Bright Cannon, making it look easy. Titans up 6-0, 10:52 remain in the first quarter.
Might be cloudy, but it's always bright. With Bright Cannon making the catch. Another 50-yard score for Bright Cannon. Bright has had now 11 plays of 50 yards or more in his Titan career. Here's Corona, extra point kick attempt. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Corona still perfect on the year, kicking extra points. Westminster actually just missed 1 extra point on the year. I think it's, 29 out of 30 now?
Yeah, 29-30.
29 out of 30. Has missed just 1 on the year, has made all his field goals. With 10 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the first quarter, it's Westminster 7, it's Hiram nothing. We're back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Sunset Lanes, offering bowling, food, and drinks, located at 1218 Idaho Street in Farrell, Pennsylvania. Sunset Lanes open every day until midnight, closed on Sundays. Call 724-981-9363 or visit online at bowlingoftheballs.rocks.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Ed & Jerry's Auto Service, 275 North Market Street in New Wilmington, offering auto repair, maintenance, and towing services since 1964. Ed & Jerry's Auto Service open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Back here, Westminster College, the Titans scoring a 50-yard pass. Bright Cannon to Quentin Good. Corona with a point after they lead 7-0. Let's go down to the field for Ethan Kurtz.
Thank you, Mark. As Hiram get back on offense here, the Westminster defense not allowing a touchdown on the opening drive here at home for the first time in now 3 games. The last 2 games here at home, both Allegheny and Teal scoring in the opening drive. They don't let the Hiram Terriers do that here today.
Scott and Jimenez back to return the kickoff from Andrew Corona. Corona on the season, 12 touchbacks, and make it 13 as it gets into the blue. Nice win behind him coming off Britton Lake. Senior recognition day here at Westminster. And a nice ceremony during the pregame. A couple of defensive starters that are seniors for the Titans that are making their way out to the field, including Mason Manis. How about this story? I talked to a lot of the seniors the last couple of days. Mason Manis tells me, he said in 2003, after his father had passed away, Coach Jerry Schmidt invited Mason and his brothers to come. Got a lot of Titan gear that day, and Jerry Schmidt, who we had on last week, former Titan coach, told him, you guys get some Titan gear. I want you guys to come back and be players for the Titans. His brother played, and now Mason playing here at Westminster after that day. Going to run here and finish the story in a second. Run to the left side for R.J. Johnson. But his older brother played and wore 59. Mason plays and wears number 59, both in honor of their father who passed away in 2003. So a nice connection with Jerry Schmidt, Westminster College, and now Mason Manis, number 59 here as a senior.
Absolutely, and not for nothing, an honorable mention in All-Pac last season for Manis. And been this season one of the more proficient defensive linemen for Westminster.
Clogs the middle a lot. You may not get his name on there a lot, but he certainly takes up blockers. Here's a blitz up the middle for the Titans, and in trouble, and Casanzale and Mason Manis. Ball comes free. Sonny's got it. He's in for a touchdown. Mason Manis, Sonny Casanzale, they combine in the big hit, the sack, and the Titans score.
Say his name and he shall appear. Mason Manis forces the fumble. Sonny Casanzale picks it up, takes it to the crib for Westminster. Got a replay of it here. You see Lakes pressured by Casanzale, up the middle by Manis, and both defensive tackles. Fumbles it there. Sonny, good hands, picks it up, and runs it into the end zone for Westminster. 13-zip pending the Corona PAT.
Andrew Corona goal to our left. You're looking at the sideline. I don't know if there are players short on special teams. They might be. They're going to snap it anyways. Ball is down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Quickly, with just 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in this first quarter, Westminster has a lead by a score of 14-0. Ethan Kurtz has something for us. Let's go down to Ethan.
Yeah, Mark, Hiram actually have forced the most fumbles in the PAC with 19 of them. Here, it's the opposite story. Westminster forcing the fumble. Mason Manos and then Sonny Casanzale capping it off with the touchdown.
So what a quick start for the Titans. And again, and Ethan, I don't know if you have the opportunity to figure it out for us as well or check it out. But Ethan, we want to find out what is up with Sean Tejeda, as he is not out there so far. It was the quarterback, Amar Lakes, who was backpedaling with heavy pressure. Manis knocked him down as he was being spun around by Sonny Casanzale, and the Titans get the second touchdown.
Definitely a story the last few weeks. Sean Tejeda not playing today. Last week, Carson Colucci for Allegheny out. It's interesting to see. We'll do a little research on that and find why Tejeda's not out there for Hiram.
Here's the kickoff by Corona. It's into the end zone. And a dead ball, another touchback. Touchback number 14. It's a 1st and 10. Hiram will start this second drive, but Westminster scored on a 50-yard pass. Bright cannon from Quentin Good. And then a Sonny Casanzale fumble recovery and a touchdown run. Forced fumble by Mason Manis.
The
Andrew
defense
Corona with a couple of extra points.
The defense showing that prowess and strength early in this game. Best in the PAC for points per game. All over the Terriers in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter.
Till Lakes, the quarterback with 4 wides, rolls to his left. Pressure from Donner, and he will fire it. The lefty gets it out. It's incomplete. It's off the hands of the intended receiver on that side, Devon Lewis. Good coverage by the Titans as well.
Freshman Gavin Nagy from South Range, about 5 minutes from my house, his alma mater. State champion with South Range in 2022-2023.
So Nagy there to knock it away. Walt Phillips will check into the Titan lineup. Another one of the Titan seniors. 4 wides as usual for Hiram, with R.J. Johnson the back. Right around 200 yards on the season. Lakes back to pass, pressure coming on the blitz, fires it near side, it's intercepted! Finkley with a pick, 25, 20, 15, and inside the 15-yard line. Marcus Finkley, first career interception.
His parents going crazy in front of us in the stands. Marcus Finkley gets his first interception on Senior Recognition Day. Love to see it for the senior. His mom running up, giving hugs to everybody. Westminster taking over again. The defense making plays early.
There was nothing better than that reaction from his mom. Here's the replay. Here's Marcus able to reach back and make the interception on the pass intended for Hargis, and the return. His family was going nuts in the stands in front of us, up and down the bleachers. An awesome moment for Marcus, his first career INT.
Great play there made by Finkley. Westminster offense now inside the red area early.
Here's Good with a handoff up the middle. Jameer White to the 5, 3, 2, 1, and he's in. Jameer White does it right, and he's in for a Titan touchdown.
Can't even get the calls out, Mark. Westminster on the board again, 20-0. Jameer White takes that one in on his first carry of the game. The Titans showing out on Senior Recognition Day.
And the senior, Jameer White, get an opportunity right there to score. Titans with a recovery. Marcus Finkley's mom. Yeah, I don't know where our sideline camera is. If we get a turn and get a look at this stance. Here's Corona with a kick. It is up and good. Mrs. Finkley right here celebrating in the front row, has the football, got the game ball, and she is not letting go of it.
You love that camaraderie between the team. Little sneaking under the jersey, give it to Miss Finkley. Great play made by Marcus. Great play by Demir there to get the touchdown. And everybody's rocking and rolling early in New Wilmington on Senior Recognition Day.
Chance to talk a little Westminster with the Titans up 21-0.
Talk about our department. Candace Hartner wins an award. Westminster alum Candace Hartner has been recognized as one of Pittsburgh's 50 finest by the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation of Western Pennsylvania. Hartner, a faculty member in Westminster School of Communication, was honored by the organization's recent event celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Pittsburgh program. Since her selection in April, Hartner's raised more than $8,500 in support of the foundation's mission to cure cystic fibrosis and to improve the quality of life for those affected by the disease. Hartner's younger sister, Claire, was born with the condition in 2003. Hartner's been a passionate advocate, fundraiser, and volunteer for cystic fibrosis awareness and research since. Learn more by visiting at www.cff.org/WPA.
Pickup by Carana will be into the end zone for another touchback. Touchback number 15 on the season. Let's go down to a hard-working Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. Marcus Finkley, after his first career interception, Gene Gary Joseph got the ball that he intercepted and went and gave it to Marcus Finkley's mom. So a very cool moment here on Senior Recognition Day.
With the seniors sticking together, Gene
Love to see it.
snatches the ball, and Mama ran it up the bleachers. She was going up and down the bleachers, running like a running back herself. She was very excited, wearing the Finkley name and the jersey number 23.
Absolutely.
What a
Love
great
to see
time.
it.
First career interception for Marcus, setting up the Titan touchdown. And here's Lake, the lefty, will throw it out to Johnson, a little swing pass, and Dante Curry going to track him down and knock him down short of the 30.
The athletic Curry there from the defensive end position, showing the speed getting out on that swing pass and making the tackle. Cuts it to about 2nd and 8. A little story about Marcus. He was actually a walk-on at YSU in 2019. Fast forward to 2025, still making plays for Westminster in New Wilmington.
Going to be 2nd down and 7. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Hiram. Fake handoff. Lake's looking to run, and he'll run it up the middle. Rolls out again. Titans are on top of it. There it appeared to be, and it is official. It's a Titan takeaway. The fumble on the play. I think it was Jordan Gore may have been the guy to come out of there. Also getting celebration for Jack Bible. We'll see if we have a replay on that, if we can get the right names. But either way, a takeaway for the Titans.
Huge plays for Westminster. The defense keeps showing off turnover after turnover. Both these sides are going to get tired for running from sideline to sideline. All smiles from Jack Bible there. All the seniors having a good day.
So the Titans football at the 33 of Hiram. And the replay after this play here. Bunch formation to the left for the Titans. Quick throw near side. Bright Cannon makes a move at the 30. And still on his feet, 25. He can move, and he certainly does. And now a little power, getting a push from the offensive line, and he's down to about the 22-yard line. Let's go back to that last replay on the fumble for Hiram, if we have a chance, and see if we can identify who knocked that ball out of there.
It was Bible.
Sleva in there.
Bible knocked
in
it
there.
out, recovered it.
And Bible on both. It was Bible. So Bible with the forced fumble.
One-man show.
And the fumble recovery. And Curry there as well. And good play by the Titans. They're back in business here at the 22-yard line. Good. Get a handoff to Cannon Jr. Clayton is going to be hit at about the 18-yard line and then pushed back. Clayton Cannon, who ran for his second career 100-yard game a week ago.
Talked to Clay this past week. He's got some big goals for this game. He said he was looking for about 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll see.
He always has big goals, doesn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, the one game, 152 touchdowns. He got close. But you love Clayton, you love Demir. Split backfield now for Westminster.
I'd be shocked if he gets 200 today, only because he's not a senior on senior day. I think some of these other guys are going to get some carries. Here's Demir White with a stiff arm in the backfield. 2 backs in that set, and White going to get about a yard, maybe 2 in this one. Nothing against it. If he gets the 200, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Big goals, set your bar high. And he keeps pushing that bar up. And from freshman year, not getting many carries to sophomore year, splitting with about 4 or 5 guys in the backfield. Now the lead back for Westminster.
We have 3rd down and 5 here for the Titans, working the goal to our left, leading 21-0. with 7:17 on our running clock here first quarter. Two receivers are to the right, one to the left, that's Bailey. Motion is Koval, the tight end. Good, has Demir White on his left. Takes the snap. Quinton looking left, now over the middle. Caught by Koval. And Koval with a first down to the 10, to the 5, and banged out of bounds just short of the goal line is Brock Koval.
Brock Koval taking the drag across the middle, showing that speed. Brock really good on the football field, but let's take it to the wrestling mats. Brock Koval, his junior and senior year back at Titusville, 71-17 wrestling record, placed 4th at the Northwest AA Regional Championships and finished with over 100 wins in his wrestling career.
Getting some good wrestling tidbits the last couple of weeks. Campani, the lineman for the Titans, has been great in that area as well. Good under center. Turns, hands. Clayton Cannon powers into the end zone. Cannonball coming and into the end zone. A shot. Clayton Cannon will score from 2 yards out.
Cannonball makes a splash there. 6 on the board for Westminster. The Titans pouring it on early.
Clayton Cannon Jr. will see the replay here. Powers it in on the left side. Brought in a couple of other offensive linemen for that set. And Zach Barnes was in there as well, leading the way. Dogonski there, and Corona with his 4th attempt at an extra point on this end. And it's up, and it is good. And in this first quarter, the Titans have now scored 4 times. It is Westminster 28. It is Hiram nothing. We'll take a quick break and be back with more Titan football when we return on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Reed Activewear, offering men's and women's activewear and custom embroidery. Located at 1610 West Jackson Street in Painesville, Ohio. Reed Activewear, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, closed on weekends. Visit reedactivewear.biz or call 440-352-7433.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Dev's Books Market. Dev's Books Market, located at 3384 Perry Highway in Newcastle, offering gas, grocery, fresh deli favorites, propane refills, diesel, and so much more waiting for you. Open weekdays from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Dev's Books Market, your one-stop shop in Newcastle, from books to bites to beyond.
Officially a 1-yard touchdown run by Clayton Cannon Jr. Corona to kick off, and it's over everybody's head and into the end zone again. And they keep making this chart right here. 16 now career touchbacks for Corona.
You mentioned it last week. It's become a real weapon
Yeah.
for the Titans and dangerous returners like Cade Scott. He's had 16 career touchbacks, or no, 16 this season.
16
Regardless.
career, 16 this year, yeah.
He had 2 last season, up that number exponentially this season, and it's been a big thing for Westminster and helped their special teams kind of take some pressure off them.
And normally the special teams have been really good, and you saw it even on the first kick that was returned. The Titans held them inside the 20-yard line. So you get those deep kicks, and you get the kick in the right place. That's what Coach Benzel really worries about all. Just kick it to the right place, and the guys will cover. So back out there again to Mar Lakes. And the lefty back to pass, pressure coming, hit and sacked. Casanzale is there from behind. Sleva was in on pressure as well. And another sack, and there is 0 time for Amar Lakes to throw the football.
Tough to block a guy 6'4", 300 pounds that moves like that off the edge. Sonny having a great game. Already has a touchdown on the defensive side, gets a sack there.
Last Titan drive was 5 plays and 33 yards after the Bible fumble recovery and forced fumble. 2nd down and now 14 after the loss. Fake handoff, quick throw, left side, and that might be a lateral pass. That ball might be live. Sleva is there. It's actually Bible fumbling it, picking it up. He's into the end zone. It's a touchdown, Titans. It was a backwards pass, and Jack Bible is celebrating senior recognition day with an incredible play and a touchdown.
2nd fumble recovery of the day from Bible. First one forced. This one a pickup off a lateral pass. Bible just gets slammed there by Sleva, slipped on the celebration. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's laughing, having a good day. Coach Bryce Butler there. All smiles. Devin Mila, Jaden Jackson, Andres Vallejo in there for one of his best buddies. Nothing but smiles for Westminster.
So the backwards pass, that's a live ball, a lateral, and Jack Bible kind of kicked it and dropped it and got it into the end zone. Here's Corona with another extra point attempt. It's this time no good. So wide on the kick. Here's our replay. Running a couple steps forward That's not our. That's a play of a previous fumble.
That's the first fumble.
Yeah, that was the
fumble.
first fumble. Here's our play, I think. Is this one? On the pass. There it is.
Yep.
And it's a backwards pass. Finkley actually kept it alive. And Bible picked it up, dropped it, picked it up, and scored on the touchdown return. What did Coach Benzel say as keys to the game? He wanted a
non-offensive score, and he's got plenty in this first 10 minutes. We still got 5:32 remaining in this first quarter.
So the kick wide, just the second miss of an extra point this year for Corona. The Titans leading by a score of 34-0.
Talking a little bit about some local good causes. Due to government shutdown, budget freezes, and other funding cuts, the Mercer County Food Bank has announced an emergency response plan to provide nearly 100,000 meals to our neighbors in need with a county-wide foods and funds drive called Together We Can, calling on individuals, businesses, and organizations to help fill the shelves for our neighbors in need. Our neighbors, many of them children, need this help. Nobody should go hungry. Visit mercercountyfoodbank.org or call 724-981-0353 and help stamp out hunger today.
And another touchback. Maybe a little added frustration for Corona after the miss. Boot one through the end zone. And the Titans lead it 34-0 in this one. We anticipated maybe a shootout. Sean Tejeda, outstanding quarterback this year for Hiram. Number 2 across the board, virtually in every stat. Has not played. It has been so far all Amar Lakes, and it's been tough sailing with the Titan pressure. Here comes another blitz. Lake's going to throw it near side, and it is caught and immediately ripped down on the play. Is the wide receiver Dykes, is B. Island, Andre Charles, right there and right away.
Yeah, that nickname I'm still not too sure about. I got to confirm that with somebody if anybody actually says that to him. And Ethan,
well, we saw it on the back of the parents' shirt the one day, so I think you got to confirm it that way,
there
right?
There you go. You're right.
Even if that just started this year, I like it.
Yeah.
We could make it our own. Here's a pass left side, and this time Lake's going to be complete. Far side, Van Irvin with the catch. Gets hit hard on the sideline far side.
Walt Phillips, big hit. Takes him off his feet there on the far sideline.
Going to be a little bit short of the first down, about a yard short of the first down. Titans getting a 50-yard touchdown pass. Cannon from Quentin Good. A Sonny Costanzali fumble return for a touchdown. A Demir White 12-yard run. A Clayton Cannon 1-yard run. And a Jack Bible fumble return for a touchdown. They've put up 34 in this quarter. And Walt Phillips jumped the gun on this one. Back to pass is Lakes. Phillips going to sack him, but I believe Walt on the blitz was offside. And if you're going to be offside, you might as well get the quarterback and don't let him get 2 positive plays out of it. And Walt slaps his hands together and makes his way
Defense,
off.
number 1.
That'll give Hiram a
5-yard
first
penalty.
down.
A little too eager there from Walt Phillips. The Swiss Army knife for Westminster, lined up at safety, at outside backer, at running back, cornerback, kind of everywhere this season for the Titans.
So move the first down out to the 39-yard line. This difference right now, 34-0. The biggest win ever, the largest margin of victory ever between Westminster and Hiram was a 40-0 game, and that game occurring in 2016. Back to pass, quick throw near side, and it's going to be caught. Sliding full the catch, Dylan Hargis. Hargis coming into the game, the 6'2" tight end with 30 receptions and 226 yards. Makes the catch there for about 4, setting up second down and 6.
Terriers kind of getting a drive going here, nearing Westminster territory.
Lake's 6 of 11 here in the early going. He's been sacked a couple of times. And a fake handoff. Lakes fires over the middle, nearly intercepted. Oh, 2 Titans right there. Lamont Austin had it in his hands. Gavin Nagy was there as well as the pass intended for Dykes. And I think you may have seen Lamont Austin peeking down the field to see if he had a chance for a pick 6.
A little high there on the throw from Lakes. Lamont Austin has a pick 6 this season, 2 interceptions in the last game against Allegheny. Looking for his 4th of the season, 7th of his career. Reigning PAC newcomer of the year and brother of wide receivers coach Marcel Smith Austin. Definitely one of the best Titans on the defensive side.
Third down and 6, back to pass. Lake's going to fire over the middle, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver. Sliding there was Jalen Davis, and Davis could not bring that in. Davis on the season, just 8 receptions and a touchdown. A lot of big receivers, 6'3", 210. Big target out there, but did not hang on to that on the slant. 4th down. And we'll see what Coach Dupree chooses to do here near midfield. Team already down 34-0. The offense going to stay out there. 4 receivers in the set. And a timeout going to be taken. So Coach Dupree will talk it over. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more in a moment. Westminster 34, Hiram 0. Your home of the Titans right here, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Riardo's Bar and Grill, offering homemade Italian dishes, game nights on Mondays, and trivia nights on Wednesdays. Located at 1223 East Washington Street in Newcastle. Riardo's Bar and Grill, opening at 4 p.m. every day and closed on Sundays. Visit riardos.com or call 724-698-7259. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Reed Activewear, offering men's and women's activewear and custom embroidery. Located at 1610 West Jackson Street in Painesville, Ohio. Reed Activewear, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, closed on weekends. Visit reedactivewear.biz or call 440-352-7433.
Sorry if it gets.
Yeah.
Back here, and it looks like Coach Dupree is going to go to the punt unit as the punter Luke Hoskins is out to the field. Hoskins averages 32 yards per punt. We'll get down to Ethan after this play. Gianni DeSore is back to return. He stands at about the 25-yard line. Pressure coming. It's a short angle punt, and it's going to hit at the 40-yard line. And take a little bit of a Hiram roll. It'll be dead around the 38. Let's go down to sideline reporter Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Yeah, Mark, no Sean Tejeda today, 7th in NCAA Division III in passing yards. He was ruled out prior to this game by the coaching staff for an undisclosed injury. He's also questionable to play in their season finale next weekend.
Thank you very much. So a surprise for everybody on the Titan side, including us, when we saw Amar Lakes come out of the quarterback. It's been a tough day for Lakes, and it would be tough going for Hiram without their star quarterback. We mentioned a lot of his numbers in the pregame. Here's Quentin Good becoming a star quickly as well. Good, back to pass, deep over the middle, it's caught! Christian Bailey getting banged around, but he made the catch in traffic around the 45-yard line for a Titan first down. Actually, that's Bright Cannon who pulled it in.
Bright makes that catch. Having a good game thus far, nearing 100 total receiving yards for the Titans. Westminster chugging along now back into Hiram territory as this first quarter, still about 2:38 remaining.
35 points or 34 points for the Titans here in the quarter. Cannon already scored on a 50-yard touchdown pass. It's second down, 3 wides, first down I should say. Second play of the drive for the Titans with 3 wides in the set. And Good, gonna keep it, and this time he's gonna run 40, 35. He's outside with smooth run into the 30, and he'll get out of bounds at the 25. A lot of run-pass option from Quentin Good, and that time he kept it.
Yeah, not really Q's forte, Cheese's forte, but takes that one. You can see him smiling there. Takes it for about 15, maybe 17 yards officially for Quentin on the scramble there. Just kind of jogging along to the sideline. Not a guy that loves to take unnecessary hits at the QB position.
1:53 on the clock. Torres is going to split out wide to the right for Westminster. Slot to the right is Cannon. Global tight end left end from the 25 of Hiram. And Good this time will give it left side to Clayton Cannon, and Clayton is inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line.
Westminster getting the run going as well, as you mentioned those RPOs. Last week's offense compared to the week prior, Grove City, looked a lot different from my perspective. A lot more RPOs, less pressure on the young quarterback. Good, currently 7 for 7 for 118 yards. Gianni DeSora checks in for Westminster. But taking the pressure off that young quarterback in Quentin Good, you know he can make the throws. Coaching staff knows he can make the throws. Just ease him into that college game, as Coach Benzel said. He's got to be more college ready, and they're working on that.
2 receivers right as Koval comes in motion to the left side. Good in the shotgun, back to pass, looks, fires middle. Koval's got it, 15, and a stiff arm. It'll be pulled down at around the 12, but a first down. We've seen that play before with Koval coming across left to right, and good for a first down.
Little deja vu there on the drag, kind of the over route for Koval. Can't get the stiff arm on the linebacker there for Hiram Coltereri, their leading tackler form tackle there. And difficult to tackle a guy behind that's running across the opposite way, but Terrarier makes a good tackle. And Westminster 1st and 10 at the 12, threatening again.
Second catch for Brock Koval, good for 16 yards. Quentin Good still perfect on the afternoon, 8 of 8. Two receivers right with Desora in motion. And the handoff up the middle. Cannon Jr. will plug inside the 10 and get down to the 6-yard line. The first down run, good for about 4 on the play, and that's going to end the first quarter. Clock down to zeros after 1. Westminster 34 and Hiram nothing. We are back with the second quarter when we return on your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pizza Joe's in New Wilmington, offering pizza, stromboli and calzones, subs, wings, and salads. Pizza Joe's open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 209 South Market Street in New Wilmington.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Dev's Books Market. Dev's Books Market, located at 3384 Perry Highway in Newcastle, offering gas, grocery, fresh deli favorites, propane refills, diesel, and so much more waiting for you. Open weekdays from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Dev's Books Market, your one-stop shop in Newcastle. From books to bites to beyond.
Yeah, not right now.
Back here, Westminster College Memorial Field inside Bury Stadium. Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes, Ethan Kurtz on the sideline. Special thank you to Ben Kelly on the radio side and to Peyton Mell on our TV crew. Those gentlemen, seniors with our program. We get a chance to look at Ben, Leslie Trinity High School. He's our Canadian from Vineland, Ontario. He's on the radio side with Joe Solomon. We'll have Joe on at the half. And there's Peyton from Hermitage, PA, Hickory High School. Thank you, gentlemen, for your work on the broadcasts, all falling throughout your careers as seniors. 2nd and 4. The ball on the 6-yard line here for the Titans. And a jet sweep pitch. It'll go to Demir White, and he gets pulled down from behind. And a really nice defensive play. Pulled down that time by Gavin Cruiser.
Tackled by Gavin Cruiser.
Interesting to see if Westminster's going to keep it on the ground here. Maybe let Q throw still, as you mentioned. 8 for 8 through the air for good thus far. Christian Bailey checks in for Westminster. Demir White going to head to the sideline.
Cruiser now with 5.5 tackles for a loss on the Hiram side. Over 50 tackles on the year. It's 3rd and 7, the ball back to the 9-yard line. That does count as a complete pass there for Quentin Good as well on that little jet sweep pass. Titans will put 2 receivers to the right in Torres and Bailey. Bright Cannon is to the left. 3rd and 7, and Good is looking left. He's firing, end zone, and it's off the hands of the intended receiver. Out there was Brock Koval, the tight end. Like double coverage there as well. Fired the fastball, and you got to be ready anytime in any pattern. And we may have a flag down on the field as well.
There goes the perfect game for Good there. Looking for Koval, back corner of the end zone. Couldn't quite get it to go. Awaiting the call from.
If it's defensive pass interference, he still has the perfect game. Yeah, passing wise. We'll see what this call is. There were a lot of defenders in the area.
Pass interference, defense, number 2. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So
take it back.
Koval doesn't catch it because he's interfered with. And now it's 1st down and goal for the Titans. Clayton Cannon Jr. is the back. The fullback in the set is Brock Koval with Good under center. And he will turn. And it's cannonball coming. And into the end zone. Clayton Cannon with a touchdown.
Got a little work to do on that yardage goal, but 2 touchdowns for Clay in this game. Westminster up 40 now. You mentioned 40-0, the biggest margin of victory in this series. You see Clay take the right hand off into the end zone, rolls in. Titans another 6. Biggest margin of victory, 40-0. Pending the Corona PAT, could make history here.
Corona attempts extra point. The goal to our right. Rierick snaps it. Sanson puts it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So a little bit of Westminster history. The largest margin, well, at least at this point, is not over.
Game's
but
not over.
Right now, the largest margin of lead, we'll say, for Westminster against Hiram, 41-0 on the Clayton Cannon 2-yard touchdown run. Got some other scores from around the PAC.
Teal up 6-0 on Bethany. St. Vincent and Waynesburg tied at 14 apiece. as the second quarter is about to get underway. Grove City and Case still scoreless with 12 minutes remaining in the second. W&J and Geneva. Geneva holding the W&J offense to 7 points in the first quarter, keeping it close. Geneva, kind of a surprise this season, Mark. It was Coach Gino DeMarco's last season. Kind of got leaked at Pack Media Day, a little funny moment there. But his last season goes away from the triple option that was so successful in the 90s and early 2000s, but goes to a spread offense, and then Caleb Romano just decides to be the best passer in all of college, any division, leads in most categories. And Geneva 5-1 in the PAC. They're one of their best seasons in recent history.
No doubt. They've had a great year. Coach DeMarco's had an outstanding career and has been a triple option guy for a long time. Crazy to see the change, but what a great result. Corona to kick off, this time toward the lake, and a fair catch called for. The ball's going to bounce, though, and head out of bounds, so it'll be a penalty against Westminster. First time kicking toward the lake with the wind in the face of Corona, and short kick ended up bouncing out of bounds. So that'll be a penalty. It'll give the ball to Hiram in good field position to start their drive. Westminster
kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
And they're going to choose to re-kick it. Okay.
Interesting.
So they'll choose the re-kick, and why not? Got a couple of good returners back there, and Cade Scott and Ricardo Jimenez.
Not something you see too often, though, taking that penalty and choosing to re-kick it.
And when you think about it, too, and the players just ran down the field, and maybe you get them tired, and maybe you get a mistake, and
as you mentioned,
the offensive team is not running. The defensive team is flying down the field, so how good are they at back-to-back 70-yard sprints?
We'll see. You mentioned Cade Scott, one of the more dynamic returners in the PAC. And
also been a great defensive back this year, 11 pass breakups, including 5 interceptions. Been good
Jimenez
at this point now, 8 of 8 for 125 yards. Also leading the Titans with 18 yards rushing with that career-long 18-yard run earlier. Corona to put a foot into it.
Take 2.
It's going to come near side. It's loose on the field. Scott will finally pick it up at the 22 and then slide down on his backside for a downing of the football and give the ball back to the Titans.
Interesting. It works out for Westminster, and the favor going to be marked down, I believe, the 27-yard line, 22-yard line. Worth the risk.
Just 2 first downs for Hiram so far. They have rushed for a -25 in the game so far with the sacks, just 6 of 13. Averaging under 1 yard per play are the Terriers, with the backup quarterback in charge in Amar Lakes. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. And it's a handoff up the middle, and that's going to be Johnson. R.J. Johnson on the carry. Out of Denham Springs, Louisiana. Takes the run up the middle, out to the 30-yard line.
Not sure on the injury report. Haven't seen anything from Isaiah Livingstone, leading rusher for this Hiram team today. R.J. Johnson, definitely no slouch, but the freshman has been the workhorse for this backfield for most of the year.
Yeah, over 300 and some yards. Here's a turn and a handoff up the middle. Johnson again. And with those 2 Johnson carries, the first time that Hiram has gotten to the plus side of yardage in the game as a total. Couple of yards there for Johnson. Yeah, you mentioned no Isaiah Livingstone, their leading rusher. We've had no Sean Tejeda with an injury. We don't know Livingstone, but we know Tejeda was ruled out prior to the game with the injury. And questionable for next week as well.
I think I see 36 across the way on the sideline, but no confirmation.
3rd down and 3. Quick throw, far side. That pass caught, and it'll be good for a first down. Lamont Austin there in coverage, but not before the pass caught on the far side by Jordan Stapleton. Stapleton, another one of those high-powered receivers, came in 46 receptions, nearly 700 yards.
Yeah, good holding on to it through contact from Austin there, hitting him right when he's coming down, but makes the catch, and another first down for Hiram.
And some light blue on both sides. Some of the T-shirts by the coaches and players on the far side. Same thing for Westminster. Here's Lakes, shakes off a tackle on the attempted sack by Bible. He's going to run it up the middle and get out to the 36. I should not say Bible, that was Fletcher. Into the backfield, nearly had a chance Had a sack.
Aiden Fletcher, one of those young guys that makes a lot of plays on this defense. Coach Benzel said he thinks that Fletcher could be a first-team all-conference and borderline all-American type of player. Said he's a perfectionist by nature, and he's harder on himself than anything that Coach Benzel said he could ever do.
Walt Phillips checks back into the lineup for Westminster. Talking to Walt, he says, don't blink. Your 4 years, or even the extra year, the 5 years for the grad student goes fast. It's second down and 10, and Lake's going to try to run. He's across the 40, and he's out to the midfield. The ball's out! Loose on the field, scramble for the football, and still fighting for it. I'm not sure who has it in this pile.
Speaking of Phillips,
there's a flag comes in late. The official has signaled Hiram ball, and now is he changing his mind? I think he will, because Beyonce Charles has the ball.
It looked like Beyonce came out of it, but Walt Phillips forced the fumble, hitting Lakes there from the near side, awaiting the call from the official.
And there is a flag as well. I don't know if we have a look at that, ladies and gentlemen, back in the studio. If we have a look, Titan defense wants to come off the field. Charles says, I got the ball. Walt Phillips, though, looks a little bit exasperated as he walks off. So what is our call? Take a look. We'll get to a replay here in a moment.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 46. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from that spot. And number 46 is ejected from the game.
So they called it targeting on Jack Bible. And there's no way. Well, from this replay, Jack Bible
wasn't even a part of the play.
Wasn't even in the play. And it looked like a shoulder hit from Walt Phillips. One more time, let's look at that.
Yeah,
we do have time to look at it right now if you want to show it one more time. Didn't from the studio.
Look like it involved Bible at all. Phillips made the hit. Bible wasn't a part of the tackle at all, or at least the in-game action. I mean,
we'll look at it again here after the play. And that's something
looks like
we might be able to look at here at the half as well. Okay, go ahead and show it.
Looks like it's going to stand, but we'll see Bible there doesn't make contact with anybody.
Not at all. It was a hit by Phillips. Now, I was looking at Bible on that last one, so I'm going to want to see it one more time, ladies and gentlemen, in the studio. And here's one more time. Let's watch Walt and see, does he hit him in the head or in the shoulder? As Phillips comes in, and it is head-to-head contact, yep. But it was not Bible, it was Phillips. All right, back to pass. And Lakes is going to go down. It's going to be Dylan Sleeva's going to grab him. It won't be a sack. He'll gain about a yard on the play. Now, that's something that can be reviewed at the half. I don't know if the coaches have that on their iPads, but that could correct which player is out and allow Bible to continue in this game.
Yeah, an unfortunate way.
Senior Day.
An unfortunate way to end your career, so to say, if it stands.
Really, for either one.
That's devastating. He's had a game, too. 2 fumble recoveries and a touchdown today.
Second down and 9. Quick throw over the middle, and this one is going to be caught. Shoestring catch made by the tight end on the play, Dylan Hargis. So Lakes to Hargis. Sleeva on the play. Going to be third down and 2.
Jack Bible, one of those guys that, as of late, has really stepped into the role. Palich missed last week. Bible had 2 good games in a row for Westminster, leading them in tackles last week against the Gators, and was having a really stellar career game today.
Third down and 2. 2 receivers are wide to the right, 3 to the left. Quick throw near side, and Hargis can't hang on. Quickly hit there on the play defensively as Nagy comes up to knock the ball away from Hargis.
And Gavin Nagy looks pretty healthy there, breaking on the hitch route, gets his hand in the cookie jar, breaks that pass up. Hiram now, another decision to make, Mark.
Second down, actually fourth down and 2. Now for Hiram, their best offensive drive of the game. Down to the Titan 29-yard, a low snap, and now flags. And I think this is going to be a procedure call. Go against Hiram.
False start. Offense. Number 51. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
Anthony Lascola letting us know that Mikhail
Result of the play is a fourth and
Leotsakos,
34.
the freshman lineman, moving early. So they'll do it again, but now 4th down and 7, and still what might be 2-down territory.
Yeah, Hiram. Nothing to lose, so to say, right here. Going for it on 4th.
4th down and 7. Lakes back to pass, a lot of pressure, fires deep over the middle, and it's too strong. Intended down the field for Devon Lewis. And over his head, out of bounds. A turnover on downs, the ball back to the Titans.
Westminster offense, been a well-oiled machine today. Taking the field again up 41-0 with 9:45 remaining in this second quarter. Mark Slazak and Jacob Rhodes here for Westminster and Hiram on Senior Recognition Day.
3 Hiram turnovers in this game. One, the first one, a 19-yard sack by Manos that led to a Sonny Casanzale fumble recovery and a touchdown. Marcus Fingley with his first career interception set up a Demir White touchdown. And then Jack Bible taking advantage, getting a fumble recovery as well. Then scoring a touchdown on the Bible recovery. Here's a run near side, pass I should say, near side to Bright Cannon. Cannon out to the 42-yard line.
I was harking on it off record. And the Titans, I guess the coaching staff must have heard me. They're getting their playmakers the ball in space a lot more as of the last 2 weeks. A lot more behind the line of scrimmage stuff. A lot of passes like hitches and screens and flat routes, slants, stuff to get guys like Christian Bailey and Bright Cannon in space and allow them to do something after the catch. Bright had that 50-yard touchdown catch. It was a hitch.
Here's White in motion, handoff Cannon Jr. He's got the first down, he's got more. Breaks the ankle tackle at the 50 and down near the 45 of Hiram. Markham at the 46. When you think about that, part of that is the arm talent of Quentin Good. As he gets the ball outside with such velocity, is the defense can't react quite quickly enough. Gives the offensive players, the guys, the playmakers you just mentioned, like Bright Cannon, Christian Bailey, a chance to get the ball in space, but get it so quick that the defense is not reacting to that. That's a huge part of the game for Quentin Good.
Absolutely. And Good has that arm talent. Everybody in the stadium knows. Everybody on their sideline knows. The recruits should know down by the end zone by now. He's got that arm talent, but he is still green. He's still a green prospect in college. And taking the pressure off him with those behind the line of scrimmage passes I mentioned is definitely good for the freshman.
Back to pass is good. Fires it, and it's knocked down. Nice defensive play on the line by the defender here on the near side to knock it free. Isaac Ray in that area to knock it free. It'll be a second down. That was just a little touch pass, not a pass where you're going to have to throw the ball all that hard, and didn't quite flip it over the defender.
Not listed on our roster, number 92. Great play, though, made by the defensive line for Hiram.
Just scanning any place we have with numbers to see if we may know who that is, but I think maybe Kyle Stevenson, because he did look about 6'4" around the plate. Here's a flip out near side. It's going to be White. And Amir White will take it to the 44-yard line. Westminster 41, Hiram nothing. 7:52 to go here in the first half.
Westminster easing off the gas pedal a little bit in the second quarter as it commences.
3rd down and 8 for Westminster. Moving left to right towards Britton Lake here on a cloudy Saturday. 4 wides in the set. DeSora slide to the left side. Good back to pass. Looking, scrambles a little bit to his right, directing traffic and fires it down the field. And Bailey almost made a great catch on the sideline. Boy, it looked like for a second Good was just going to throw it away, and then he kind of saw Bailey and nearly had him on the sideline around the 30, but the ball incomplete. 4th down.
Calling for the punt team now. Ball at the 44-yard line. Sanson on for the first time now today for Westminster.
So from the 44, Craig Sanson Jr. set to kick this away. He's had 10 punts inside the 20 on the season. Scott is deep to return. Sanson's kick is a spiral. Scott will let it go. DeSora gonna grab it, and the Titans will down Hiram at the 1-yard line.
Gianna DeSora keeps making good plays on special teams, and it's earned him more PT in 10 personnel sets in the slot, those 4 wide sets, and all love there for the freshman two-sport athlete, making another good play on special teams. Sanson puts it exactly where it needs to be. Great shot there. DeSora downs it at about the half-yard line, as close as you can get without touching that white line.
Now 11 punts inside the 20-yard line. Just one touchback on the year for Sanson. He has been a weapon. You saw Scott try to decoy it there, but good play by DeSora. Titans with a chance to get into the backfield and make something happen on the defensive side. And defense has scored already twice in this game. So it is Lakes at the quarterback spot. Johnson, the back, is beside him. Lakes in the shotgun. Hard count, and we'll hand to Johnson, and Johnson's in trouble, does sneak out of the end zone, and then crosses the 5. Boy, they had a shot at him at about the 1-yard line, but he's able to slide through and gets out to about the 7.
Great improvisation there from R.J. Johnson, as you mentioned. Looked like he was all dead to rights by the Westminster front 7, but somehow squirts through the line and gets about 5 or 6 there.
It'll be 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard run by R.J. Johnson. Lamar Lakes just in front of the goal. He's back to pass with flags down. It's going to be a penalty against Hiram on the pre-snap.
False start. Offense, number 68. Half the distance to goal. 2nd down.
So half the distance to the goal moves it closer to the scoreboard in the Lake in the blue end zone. Everything on that right side.
We got a hot dog catapult slingshot down here, Mark.
Did
by
we?
the cheerleaders.
Are they still going with it?
They're firing hot dogs into the crowd. Now we're throwing T-shirts. We never get one up here in the broadcasting booth. They said they never see us up here.
They never see us. It's the only window open in the whole place. How do they not see us? Jake's back here waving frantically, trying to get a T-shirt or a hot dog.
Anything.
It's 2nd down and 8. I'll just call the play. You try to get your T-shirt. Here's Lake back to pass, fires over the far side, and it is caught. Nice back shoulder throw. And completion on the far side is Stapleton will pull it in.
No dice.
No T-shirt, no hot dog. I don't know how hard that hot dog thing shoots, so might get a hot dog off the window. 1st and 10.
Good shot there.
That'd have to be a pretty accurate shot to get it in for us.
That's what I'm saying. Here
that wasn't far.
That's got some juice on it.
It does. That comes quickly. I think you should shoot. I don't know. Here's a pass. Intercepted! Picked off by Lamont Austin. It's a pick 6 touchdown for the Titans. Lamont Austin does not care about the hot dog shooter. He cares about football. Gets the pick and scores the touchdown.
Timely interception there by Lamont Austin. Gets his 2nd pick 6 of the year. His 3rd interception in the last 2 weeks. Great job breaking the out route there from Austin. They've thrown those sideline routes a few times today. Austin uses his instincts, uses the athleticism. Another 6 on the board for the Westminster defense. And Coach Benzel, that 3rd key, he's getting it in bountiful numbers. Multiple defensive scores today.
3rd key was a non-offensive score. Special teams or defense. The defense has scored 3 times. There's Corona, the point after. The kick is up, and that kick is good. With 5 minutes and 34 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter, it is Westminster 48 and Hiram nothing. Lamont Austin with his 2nd career pick 6. Corona with a point after. We'll be back with more in a moment at your home of the Titans, WCN.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Sunset Lanes, offering bowling, food, and drinks. Located at 1218 Idaho Street in Farrell, Pennsylvania. Sunset Lanes open every day until midnight, closed on Sundays. Call 724-981-9363 or visit online at bowlingoftheballs.rocks.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Ed & Jerry's Auto Service, 275 North Market Street in New Wilmington, offering auto repair, maintenance, and towing services since 1964. Ed & Jerry's Auto Service open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Where? Back here, Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes. Titans scoring on a pick 6 by Lamont Austin. Corona with the extra point. And the Westminster Titans are rolling in this one, leading 48-0 on the 3rd defensive touchdown of the game for Westminster. Corona to kick off. And It'll be a fair catch called for and made at the 20-yard line. It's Nathaniel Brown there to make that catch on the fair catch. It'll give him the ball at the 25.
48 zip here in New Wilmington. Giving me a chance to talk about some new Master of Ed programs. Westminster College's School of Education is launching 3 new Master of Education programs in early childhood, secondary, and special education. All 3 programs are designed for individuals who hold a bachelor's degree and seek Pennsylvania Instructional I certification to teach in public schools. These new certification pathways combine advanced coursework with practical training to prepare future educators for success in today's classrooms. Learn more at www.westminster.edu/grad or by calling 724-946-7180.
Lakes back to pass, fires deep over the middle, nearly intercepted. Incomplete at about the 40-yard line. It was Mason Palich who dove in front of the receiver. And there's a flag on the play. Titans had a couple of rushers in the vicinity of the quarterback.
Defense, number 4, roughing the
passer on West Donner.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
West Donner been the best pass rushing lineman for Westminster this season. 6 in the PAC in sacks with 4.5 and 9 in tackles for loss with 9. The sophomore from Bastrop, Texas.
It's been a heck of a year for Donner, no doubt.
Yeah.
So via the penalty, 15 yards is 1st and 10, ball out to the 40-yard line. Ramar Lakes filling in for Sean Tejeda at quarterback. Lakes back to pass, the lefty looks, fires, and this one is caught. Caught it about the 44-yard line. Receiver then driven back. On the catch that time was Devon Lewis. Mason Palich there to make the play and knock him back.
Titans keeping the ones out there for the most part. Deshaun McBride now take the place of Donner after the personal foul. A guy that's like, he's bordering the 1s and the 2s. He's kind of like a 1B right now in the rotation.
Yeah.
McBride.
Really,
he's been the first guy off the bench, the 6th man for the defensive line group.
We've seen a lot of rotation along the defensive line. Here's a pitch right side. And here's the first run out to the 50-yard line before he's thrown back. First run for Isaiah Livingstone. Livingstone, who came in as the leading rusher with over 300 yards on the season. We're going to flag on the play.
Livingstone had some really good games, nearing 100 yards this season for Hiram, whose rushing attack hasn't been where they want it to be.
Penalty flag is a couple
Personal
of them.
foul. Blindside block. Offense, number 13. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
So Jordan Stapleton called for the blind side block on the play. We'll check the replay and watch for that up front. And you can see Stapleton kind of got caught up. I think that was the play with Fletcher. At the beginning of that replay, we saw it in that lower part of the screen.
Yeah, Fletcher coming off that backside, using that athleticism, nearly caught Livingstone from his, not outside backer position, kind of like a hawk, they call it.
Yeah.
It's that Ian Barr role that he played in Fletcher. A lot of pressure on him, but Coach Benzel wouldn't want anybody else in that position.
Likes him playing there, likes him rushing the passer. 2nd down and 20 now. Here's Livingstone, the carry up the middle. And he's going to be pushed back right away. As Casanzale, Manos, Finkley all there defensively. See Walt Phillips check back in for Aiden Fletcher. And when it's an obvious pass situation, you see Walt come in. 3rd down and 19.
Out of all the areas of the game that Fletcher, not saying isn't proficient in, but he's excellent at everything. Pass cover, I'd say, would be his lowest mark. Still excellent there. But Phillipson now on 3rd and 19.
7 along the line of scrimmage for the Titans. Lakes back to pass, fires deep over the middle. Leaping catch is made, and falling for the first down is Jordan Stapleton.
I think it might be just.
So now they're going to show him a little bit short. You're
just
right.
Behind, yeah. When he was down, I think he was down about the 49.5. We'll see a replay here. Kind of hangs in the air and down at the 49.5 yard
Good
line.
call. As he stretched the football, and then he fell backwards across the 50-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and less than a yard. Moving right to left. Hiram trailing 48-0 in this one. 2:56 to go here in this first half. Titans load up the line of scrimmage, and a timeout going to be taken by Hiram. They'll talk things over as they look to go for it near midfield. We'll see what happens. We're back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN. Nice preview there for Titantown Sports. Check that out on Thursdays. Another good episode put forth by the Titan crew this week. Feature on the Neshannock High School and others.
Yeah, I got to talk to the Moon Boys, some of the guys on the team. That all the Moon Boys kind of got injured this season. It's been a rough one injury-wise for Ty McGowan, Tate Beachy, Dylan Sleva with that club. It's still nice to talk to those guys, cornerstones of this next generation of Westminster football.
Sleva's still playing with the cast on his arm. Here's a quick throw, right side, and it's going to be good for a first down. Stapleton from Lakes, and first down on the fourth down conversion here for Hiram. Been in Westminster territory now just for the second time.
Talk about Deshaun McBride.
Making their way, dipping and dunking, slowly but surely is the Hiram offense.
First down.
Moon Boys, Ty McGowan, Tate Beachy, Dylan Sleva, the guys, and Mason Palich, another guy from Moon as well. Featured the 3, and Ty out with the rib injury. Ty McGowan's actually been working with the coaching staff. And mentioned in his pregame senior day speech that he's going to look to pursue a grad assistant spot. And Coach Benzel's already said, I want him on the staff already. He's already been offered the job to become a coach on the offense. And despite the fact that Ty's been injured with an injury early to his shoulder and then later to some ribs, he's certainly been able to be helpful to the young quarterbacks. Let's go down to the sidelines to Ethan Kurtz.
I said it's on me. Thank you, Mark. Westminster's defense holding Hiram to 0 points so far. It would be the 4th time this season that they've shut out their opponent heading into the second half. This is the 19th best defense in the country when it comes to scoring defense for a reason. Also 19th in run defense as well, as they've held Hiram to very few yards on the ground.
Thank you very much, Ethan Kurtz. Westminster with a 48-0 lead.
Yeah, going back to that Ty McGowan and coaching, you see he's got the headset on the sideline, was up in the booth with some of the coordinators and coaches last week. And McGowan just, Coach Benzel has nothing better to say about McGowan. Gloats about him as much as he can. He says he's a full leader. He's, the prototypical leader of a football team in McGowan. And as you mentioned, love to have him on the coaching staff and looking to do so next season. I mean, he wouldn't be the first player to do so. Bryce Butler on the sideline there. Marcel Smith-Austin, Chevy Dawson, some guys that have made big impacts on the Titan program in years past, and McGowan, one of those.
David Jameson, Jared Heck, also former Titans that are on the staff. And we're talking to Ty this week and asking him, thoughts about senior day and playing at Westminster. He talked about it's all about the hard work and the constant hard work between teammates. He says personally a lot of ups and downs throughout the career, but he said working with these guys makes it all worth it, despite the injuries.
Absolutely. I mean, a guy that's the most selfless guy on the team probably. It's just wants to see a Titan win and his guys do good.
And Coach has spoke so highly over the years of Ty McGowan, says never did he miss a lift, never did he miss a meeting, missing nothing. He's always on time and always a leader when you talk about the career of Ty McGowan. So back to action here after the 2-minute timeout. Hiram 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line. Back to pass is Lakes in trouble. Hit and dropped. Sonny Casanzale with the sack back at the 50-yard line.
Sonny really taking care of the quarterback, Lakes. They're laying him down real easily on that sack. Westminster have been all over this Hiram offense. As you see here, initial pressure from Sleva, misses it there, and Sonny just kind of lightly brings him down, kind of mat returns him to turf.
Still the sack by Sonny Casanzale. He's played the entire year with elbow injuries to both elbows, and That has not stopped him. He's been very productive. Had an amazing game against Grove City. Continues to play well. 2nd down and 18. He's got a touchdown in this game on a fumble return. Lakes is back to pass. Again, pressure, and he's going to be knocked down. Wes Donner was on the bottom, kind of reaching up, trying to slap the football away, and others came in to finish him off.
Kind of a group project there. Everybody, I don't know, can you give quarter sacks to people? Can we give like a quarter sack to the whole D-line? Manos was there first, and then Casanzale, Wes Donner trying to reach from the turf. Gene came in at the end there. I think that's the first 4-man sack in Titan history.
Might be. I don't have a chance to look at that one again. If so, we will here before the next play, but good pressure by the Titan front to knock him down. It'll be 3rd down, and now 24, the ball back to the 43-yard line.
Tyshawn Tate out there for Westminster in the slot, his first appearance today.
Back to pass is Lakes. Again, pressure coming. He's in trouble. He's going to heave it up. It's a jump ball, and it is incomplete. Phillips and Sleva in the area. We're hoping they'd have a chance for that one. Again, big pressure on the backup quarterback, Lakes. And he gets up slowly after he took a big hit. And it'll bring up 4th down. And Lakes has taken a lot of hits in this one. And you can see number 2 gingerly walking off. And I'm not sure if he knows which bench is his.
Yeah, there's a point where you got to look at your quarterback moving like that and the hits he's taken today and maybe just throw someone else and sit him down for the day.
Mar Lakes already filling in for the injured starter, Sean Tejeda. So it'll be another punting situation for Luke Hoskins. Gianni DeSora stands back at around the 25 to return. Hiram's going to take a timeout before we do that. Gives a chance to talk a little bit about Westminster.
Talking about Senior Day, we'll talk about some alumni gatherings. Join fellow Titans during an exclusive tour of the stunning Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens before the launch of their famous Holiday Magic display on Sunday, November 9th, tomorrow at noon. Limited spots are available, so be sure to reserve your space on the tour soon. Admission is available at standard rates. You can call 724-946-7363 for information and to register. Maybe a little late to register, but if you're heading out to the Phipps Botanical Gardens, it's going to be a good time tomorrow.
No doubt. Certainly check it out. Join the group. If you're not registered, you just blend in.
Yeah, I don't fit the prereq for the alumni gathering yet, so I can't attend, Mark.
You're not alumni, so you will not be
I can't
sneaking in.
No.
I don't know. I didn't even think past today to think about what I'm doing tomorrow yet. I have no clue, so.
I'm hour to hour.
I got you, man. I know what it is. So punting situation, DeSora back to return. Big pressure. And DeSora will take the spiral kick at the 23. He's ahead of the 30 and gets spun down. Nice coverage. DeSora almost getting to the outside, but Alex Bars. Actually, that was Darius Cofield Washington on the special teams there to make the play.
Big return against Teal was D3 football special teams on the special teams player of the week in the PAC for special teams a few weekends ago, homecoming weekend. And teams kind of figured that out after that 83-yard return. He's only had 4 opportunities since that return to return any punts.
So Bright Cannon will be back deep as it's victory formation for the Titans here to end the half. Quentin Good looks like he'll just take a knee. And he does, and that'll be the last play of the first half. No timeouts for Hiram, so that will take us to halftime. The Westminster Titans with a 48-0 lead at the half here over Hiram. Coming ahead at the half, we'll have Joe Salmon from the radio side, former Titan quarterback and punter. We'll talk to Joe. Also talk to athletic director Jason Leonard at the half, and we'll also try to get down to Coach Benzel with Ethan Kurtz in a moment as well. So before we go to the break, and let's go to Ethan with Coach Benzel. Go ahead, Ethan. Oh, they're actually making their way over, so not quite into position yet. Westminster opened the scoring with a 34-point first quarter. And we'll give you some of those numbers as well, but we're going to get quickly Ethan and Coach Benzel. And an opportunity to talk about what was a very productive first half for the Westminster Titans. Let's go down to Coach Benzel and Ethan Kurtz.
Thank you, Mark. Coach, in that first half, a lot of different seniors having their mark on the game. Marcus Finkley, an INT, Jack Bible scoring a touchdown, Demir White punching one in. How special is that on Senior Recognition Day to have those kind of plays made by seniors?
Yeah, splash plays are awesome. You know, specifically to the guys that are sort of playing their last game, that makes it extra special. You know, I think from our perspective, we're just making a lot of big plays right now. And the guys that are making them are guys that happen to be seniors. It's kind of wild.
No, absolutely. Coach, Quentin Good was newcomer of the week this past week, the second time he's earned that honor this season. Ty McGowan, you said, has kind of transitioned to do a bit of a role of a coach, right? He might come onto the staff next year even as a grad assistant. How has he kind of been a mentor for the young quarterback?
I mean, Ty, in his example alone, the way he carries himself, his preparation, never misses meetings. Even being an injured guy, he still shows up for lift. I mean, that's the best example you can have for a guy like Quentin or any of these young quarterbacks.
100%, Coach. Now in the second half, 3 keys to sealing out a victory here in New Wilmington.
This is the wildest first half of football in my 20-some years. I mean, we've had 23 snaps of offense. I'd prefer to just run the ball, get this clock churning, and get some guys out and need some action.
Certainly. Thank you, Coach.
Right,
Thank you very much, Ethan Kirch, with Coach Scott Benzel. The wildest first half in his career. And again, just 23 plays on offense, and that's crazy when you think about the fact that the Westminster Titans lead this game 48-0. Take a quick timeout at the half. When we come back, we will hear from Joe Salmon, former Titan quarterback and the guest announcer today. Back with more in a moment. Your home of the Titans, WCN. Back here at Westminster College, it is Bury Stadium Memorial Field. We are at the half. Westminster with a 48-0 lead over Hiram. And we have a special guest at the half. If you're watching on the TV side, you can see the band being recognized on Senior Recognition Day. But here at the half, it's Joe Salmon. And Joe, welcome in.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you having me, and I always enjoy getting to see you the couple times a year at the Westminster game.
No doubt. Now, Joe is a graduate of 2018. You had a career as both a punter and a quarterback. And let's just first roll back to that. How was it playing for Coach Benzel and doing the dual role?
I've learned a lot from Coach Benzel. I take some of it with me to basketball, and ninth grade basketball and college football aren't quite the same thing. So I toned it down a little bit. But I mean, I loved playing for Coach Benzel. The intensity, the discipline. And he let me do things as a punter that, it wasn't just sit back there and kick it. He let me pass it, run it, and come up with plays. And him, and Coach Nolf, who's at Edinburgh now, we would kind of sit down every once in a while and say, hey, is there something new we could do to get somebody? And we really enjoyed doing that.
When you talk about the discipline from Coach Benzel, I talked to a lot of the seniors this week about being senior day and what do they think about. And that's one of the things a lot of them mentioned and appreciated as players.
Yeah, I mean, there's an intentionality with everything that he does. And it's also one of those things, like if you are disciplining a player or a child, it's really because you care and really because you expect bigger things out of them than maybe that they're giving you. So I've always taken it from Coach Benzel that if he's getting on me about something, it's not because he's just being mean. He thinks that I could be better in whatever it is that I'm doing there.
I talked to Coach Jerry Schmidt last weekend. He talked about his relationship with Coach Fusco, and a lot of it the same. Like maybe they get on you a little bit, but he said a lot about the parenting side of it, where maybe at that moment you don't get it, but you realize certainly later that all those times when somebody was hard on you from the coaching spot was to make you a better player and a better person.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's times where I see stuff, hear stuff, whether it's what players are doing in college now, or from my basketball players, or even my 2 kids, that, I see what Coach Benzel meant. I mean, it comes full circle really quick.
Now you're in the finance world today, and talk a little bit about what you do now when you're not here as a guest announcer at Westminster or coaching some 9th grade basketball over at Hickory High School. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, my day-to-day, my real job, Mark, is I'm a wealth advisor at JFS Wealth Advisors. That's a Westminster connection. Bob Jaswinski, our CEO and founder, was a Westminster grad and on the board. And, I thought I wanted to be a football coach. And Professor Ligo said, hey, listen, there's this place called JFS. I think you'd fit in. They're looking for an intern. And it felt exactly like Westminster. It's warm. It's welcoming. There's people like you there that, you talk to them one time and it's, I could put this guy down as my reference for a job, what a great guy. And so that's what JFS was also like for me. And so I've been there for 8-9 years now, if you count the internship. And I went from breaking down boxes to now, helping people, be as efficient as possible with their money and protecting their savings. And it's a lot like coaching, but it's coaching people with money, not with a football. So
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
A great thing, and I've known Bob Jaswinski for a long time. I had his daughters in cross country and track way back in the day, and but it's I've known Bob for a long time. A great person, and certainly a great representative of Westminster, as you are yourself. Over on the radio side, you're working with Ben Kelly, one of our senior broadcasters, and you've had a chance to work with Ben a couple of years. How has it been like to come back? You've worked with Ben now a couple of times. What's it like being a guest announcer?
Again, this will be the 3rd time with him. And I can't say enough about him that I would say about everybody that I've ever met on this campus. Again, he's warm, he's welcoming, he's down to earth, and he continues to get better at his role and his job as well. I remember the first day with him, I was, our big thing was let's really help identify the other team.
Yeah.
And, you go in there now with him, and he's Johnny on the spot with everybody, and another great kid that's grown, and he'll do really, really big things and nice things in his career, whichever way it takes him.
And this little clip of the interview, he's going to save that too, I'm sure. And great words, but those are true words about Ben. We appreciate him, and also Peyton Mell, who runs camera and does so much technical background work for us here at the campus, the 2 seniors on that. And again, thank you, Joe, for coming in and being part of this and being a part of Westminster. We love having you.
Thank you for having me. It's coming back here is always special for me, no matter what the reason is. Again, it's warm, it's welcoming, it feels like home, and I appreciate being here, Mark.
Thank you so much, Joe. We are at the half. It's Westminster 48. It's Hiram nothing. We're back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Dear housemates, due to the environmental impact of food waste, I'm eating all your leftovers. You're welcome.
Ooh, what's this about?
I'm just doing my part for the environment. Is that Mima's punch bowl?
We use way too much plastic. Think of the planet. Who's the best princess?
The environment is the best excuse. Find an out and opt in at theenvironmentexcuse.org.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
We're at the half. Westminster College. I'm Mark Slazak. Jacob Rhodes, Ethan Kurtz on the broadcast with me. But here at the half, we're joined by Westminster Athletic Director Jason Leonard. Jason, welcome in.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Always like to try to catch up with you at least once every season. We talked obviously throughout the year and at PAC Media Day, but right here, there's always changes going on in not only Westminster College, but in the NCAA. And right now, there's a couple of things that are coming up, and I figured, okay, how do these big things that we hear about in NCAA come all the way trickle down to Westminster, as we are a member of the NCAA in Division III? First thing I want to ask about is eligibility. To talk about the 5-year eligibility, where are we with that?
Yeah, the 5-year eligibility actually is not seeing any legs. So that one has been kind of tabled, so to speak. So there's a couple pieces of legislation that will be voted on in January that will impact directly Division III. The first is a piece that we refer to as redshirting, which is fairly common in Division I and Division II. It's been a piece that's been discussed several years previously for Division III, has been voted down. It's been brought up again this year, and what they're trying to do is allow student athletes to practice and not use a year of eligibility. So that will be something that will be discussed this year in January when we go to Washington, D.C. Another piece of legislation that will be discussed is having multiple automatic qualifiers depending on the size of your conference. Our conference has 13 members. Other conferences have 6 members, 7 members. We each have 1 automatic qualifier into the postseason. And so there's some discussions about the larger your conference, and maybe you get 2 automatic qualifiers in. So those are probably 2 of the biggest pieces of legislation that will be discussed this year.
What do you think about the 2 qualifiers? Do you think it's something that, like you said, has legs or not?
It's interesting. I think part of what I want is our conference to be more competitive nationally with the one that we get in. And so I'd like to see us figure out a way that our team that is currently qualifying nationally is to be more competitive before we get another team in. And so how we do that, I'm not real sure. Certainly getting another team in is advantageous, but I'd like to figure out how we get our number 1 team in to be more competitive nationally, and so we can get a better seed. The better you do nationally and the more successful you are, the better seed you get the next year in representing your conference.
Last year, 3 teams from the PAC got into the national tournament, went to the NPI kind of calculations to get a team in. This year, looking right now, 1, Grove City kind of on the fringe. They would need a really strong finish, and some other teams to maybe lose down the road, but that's where we are right now. Earning your way in. I kind of tend to think that's where you think you want it to be, earn your way in more than get that just automatic bid.
I think that the system they have in place is fair. I think you have to win to get in. I think where we're falling short this year, quite frankly, is our out-of-conference record. We're 4-17-1. And that's not cutting it. And so Grove City is going to feel the effects of that. I thought we may be able to sneak another one in. In W&J, it looks like they might have the automatic qualifier. Grove City is sitting out on the fringe. They certainly had a big win over Cortland. Didn't fare so well against Mount Union, but because our conference overall had a not-so-great out-of-conference record, I think it's hurting them and probably going to hold them out.
We'll keep an eye on that moving forward. Another thing that's been in the news lately, and it's not always as a positive, but it's been the gambling issue. So we've had some NBA gambling issues recently that came to light. We've had the talk with the baseball players that were playing for the Guardians this year, even going back to Ohtani and his interpreter with the gambling. But now there was legislation, or at least talking of his legislation, talk about allowing Division III athletes and coaches to gamble. Where are we with that?
Well, personally, I think it's a really bad idea. I think gambling... it's an addiction, right? And I think it's so easy to do for college kids today. I know what my own son does on his phone, and it's just so easy to do. And I think the more that you make it allowable, the more that you make it okay to do, then it just becomes easier for them to do. And to allow it to be done on sports and on pro sports teams, I just don't really understand why the NCAA would think that it's something that's okay to do. So I'm actually happy that they've kind of put it on hold for now, and they're thinking of repealing it. I think that we've become fairly lax on a lot of things at the NCAA level, and there's a lot of empowerment with student athletes. I just don't think it needs to get to that. I don't know why we need to allow them to do more gambling. And so I'm happy that they've kind of put a hold on it and they're rethinking that.
And when you think about it, not only is it the addiction for the person gambling, then it allows maybe the shady side of people to come in and say, hey, you only play this, or you only get this many yards, or you suddenly have an injury before a game and don't play, and now all of a sudden we bet the under. There's all kind of crazy things that can happen that we've seen at the major level. That's going to trickle down everywhere, too. I think that's a huge risk if you allow for this.
It opens up a whole can of what-ifs, and I just don't think it's necessary. I just think it's something that we just don't need to expose our young folks to at this stage of their life, and so I'm glad they're rethinking it, and hopefully we're going to repeal that decision.
Bill, thank you. Jason,
well,
I know we
Thanks
get
for having me.
one more thing before we check out. Just quick look ahead at what we got coming up winter sports here for Westminster.
Well, super excited about basketball season. It's certainly nice to have preseason pick number 1 on the men's side.
Yes.
and looking forward to women's basketball season as well, and looking forward to, quite frankly, the volleyball match today at 5:30, the big one today. Going to win and you're in. So some good things ahead for sure.
Yeah, and swimming going on, and
Yes,
indoor track, and everything that's happened this year.
Yeah.
It's
busy
always
season,
great.
busy time of year.
There's always
for sure.
things going on. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for coming in, give us an update. I'm sure we'll sit down during basketball season
sure.
at least once or twice as well. But thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Jason
Appreciate
Lender,
it.
Athletic Director of the Westminster College Titans at the half. It's Westminster 48. It's Hiram nothing. We're back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love. Love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
Football is the game of life, and it brings a community together. White, black, boys, girls.
Flag, tackle. Football can revive communities.
That's why I think, football is on the right path.
Community with football is very accepting and loving to people who enjoy the sport.
Win or lose, they do it as a family.
Whether or not there's a band playing our beat, we're on the sidelines clapping our hands or in the stands stomping our feet. Whether in the spring or fall, bitter winter cold or smothering summer heat, whether or not we find triumph or defeat, we're using science, not taking a backseat. So when we meet, whether it's flag 7-on-7 to 11, no matter if it's weather permitting, when we're a team, we can't be beat. Whether it's on the field, park, or even the street, through small towns, down dirt roads to the big city concrete, we built a community here. And what we built to compete. Contenders of all genders. Every one of us athletes, mentors, members. So just remember the technique. When we stick together, no link is weak. Whether we're in offices poring over balance sheets or poring over playbooks, envisioning victory from bus seats, hear what I speak. We might not play for crowds, but we're still gonna get down. We're here for that first down, get loud, Hail Mary, touchdown. Gonna make our mamas proud. Whether we're the pride of the rec league or the whole talk of the hometown, we're not afraid. So hear what I say. Whether it's tomorrow or today, how you gonna make your play?
Back here at Westminster College, Mark Slazak with Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz. We are at the half. Westminster 48-0 lead over Hiram. And Ben Kelly, one of our seniors, wears a lot of hats with the stations and the broadcasting crew. Had a nice encounter on Titantown Sports with Coach Scott Benzel. Let's check in with that.
Welcome back here inside the huddle, joined by head coach Scott Benzel. Coach, welcome back to Titantown Sports.
Great to be here. In lieu of our bet, I want to present you with the world champion, LA Dodgers.
That's right. A bit of context. I'm a Blue Jays fan. Coach Benzel, a Dodger fan. We made a bet off the show, off the record. Winning team got to present the losing fan with a hat. So, we have a no hat on set rule, but this is. It could be a Yankee hat, right, Coach?
Yeah, you got the boys in blue. All good. You look good in blue, pal.
Yeah, not bad. Let's get a shot on that. Oh, I hate all of it. All right, well, Coach, Saturday.
Very fun moment with Scott Benzel and Ben Kelly as the Dodgers win the championship, and Ben, the big Canadian and Blue Jays fan, takes the big L in that one. Let's go down to Ethan Kurtz here at the half. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. I got to talk to Hiram head coach Xavier Dupree at the half. He said that he thinks they've had some receivers open downfield and some open looks. They just need to not be able to turn the ball over and to really capitalize on those looks. He thinks they could tackle better as a unit, but he's happy with some of the energy that they've provided, and if they can keep that up in the second half, he thinks this team can put some points on the board.
Thank you very much, Ethan. We'll keep an eye on that. It is senior day for Westminster. A huge group of Titans recognized before the game. You saw the band recognize the half, but the cheerleaders and the football players recognized pregame. There's our list of seniors, or our shot of the seniors from the preseason this year. So congratulations to our senior group. The headshots of Gene Gary Joseph, Nate Wadsworth, Walt Phillips, Jameer White, Ty McGowan, Jake Miller, Tate Beachy, Marcus Finkley, Mason Palich, Dylan Sleva, Jack Bible, and Solomon Davis. And then the rest of the crew, including Gage Dagonski, Christian McDowell, Mason Manis, Caden Crown, Dante Campani, Ben White, R.J. Scott, Andres Vallejo, and then a couple of our cheerleaders Leah Buchan and Jesse Vion as well. Congratulations to them, along with Ben Kelly and Peyton Mell from our broadcast crew. Some of the first half stats. Jacob, let's check them out.
It's going to be the turnovers, Mark. I mean, offensively, neither team has really put up too big of numbers. Passing 91 for Hiram, 132 for Westminster. Rushing yards, Hiram has got nothing going on the ground. 62 for Westminster, 2 for the Terriers. Total yards, Westminster has it 242 to 93, and of course up 48-0 at halftime. It's been the turnovers, as I mentioned. 2 fumble returns for Westminster, 1 for a touchdown, and 2 for a touchdown. My apologies. We have Sonny Castanzale and Jack Bible had a touchdown. Lamont Austin had a pick 6 for a touchdown. The defensive score is 3. Coach Benzel wanted a non-offensive score. He got 3 in the first half.
I think that's the best part of the game when you think about all times we talk about 3 keys. How about one where they haven't had a non-offensive score and he gets not one of them, but 3 of them in the first half on a Sonny Castanzale fumble recovery off the Mason Manis sack. A fumble return for a touchdown for Jack Bible. And a pick 6 for Lamont Austin in this game. So Hiram will kick off. It'll be Westminster ball to start the second half. Titans already with the big lead of 48-0 here at the half. The largest margin of victory was in 2016 when the Titans beat Hiram 40-0. So beyond that, at this point, it remains to be seen how this game finishes out. As Abram, as it's Nathan Levine set to kick off. 4th time this year that the Titans have scored 48 or more points. And when the Titans score more than 23, they are 71-7 under Coach Benzel. Kickoff will be short. Bright Cannon at the 22. Cannon with a move at the 30. Cannon to the 35, weaving his way across the 40. Spin move, and he bounces it outside of the 40. He's to the 50, 40-yard line, and spun down near the 30. A big return for Bright Cannon.
When they kick him the ball, good things happen. Teams try to keep it away from Bright Cannon. It looked like he was dead to rights at like the 39, 40-yard line. Spins out of it, gets to the other side of the 50 and down to the 30-yard line just like that. Good times keep rolling for Westminster.
Yeah, Bright Cannon does not get a lot of opportunities because everybody knows he's really good as a returner. Get a chance to take a look at that Westminster offense here for the second half.
Looking at the offense for the Titans, rolling out a similar group, if not the same group from that first half. Quentin Good, Clayton Cannon, Lawrence Grayson, Bright Cannon, Nelson Burfield out there right now, Brock Koval in the line from left to right, Dante Campani, Kyle Crown, Jack Kreider, Gage Zagonski, and Braden Micah.
From the 31-yard line, Good is going to hand it to Zagonski. Gage wants a throw. He'll throw it down the field, and it's caught. Bright Cannon from Gage Zagonski. How often do you see the option for the guard to throw it down the field? A complete pass for Gage to Bright Cannon.
It's going to be that time where the seniors start checking off their bucket list as Westminster football Titan players. Gage Zagonski, first passing completion for him. And you love to see it here in New Wilmington.
16-yard completion from the right guard to your best wideout. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. And here's a handoff up the middle for Demir White, and he'll spin it down to about the 10-yard line. I'm going to have to say, I saw that in camp early this year.
Did you?
And I think it was I can't remember I think it was the John Carroll scrimmage, actually. It was either that or the Geneva scrimmage where they ran that play, and Gage threw it for a touchdown that day.
Wow.
No touchdown on this one, but still a complete pass. And a nifty play for the Titans. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. Running back beside Quentin Good is Demir White. They'll hand it to Demir, bounces it outside of the 10 using his speed, cut back at the 5, spun down to the 5-yard line, close to the 1st down.
I spoke to Demir, and I guarantee all the guys on the football team, and maybe some people listening know, he's a very, very super gamer, so to say. Like he loves video games more than anything. He said he'd give up football before video games. I mean, he streams on the platform Twitch video games, and right now he's playing 2 games, Dead by Daylight and The Binding of Isaac. I could talk to him. I mean, it's his favorite thing in the world.
Pretty cool. 3rd and 1. Here's a handoff again to Demir. He's going to get the 1st down. It's going to be 1st down and goal Titans at about the 3-yard line. I did not grow up in that era of gaming and combining gaming with other people. I played Pong and Atari and some of those things early on, and then eventually Pac-Man and others, but never were playing with anywhere else. It is what an industry it has become. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Coble is in as a blocker. He's the fullback. Here's the hand to Demir White, and he is up the middle, and he's pushing, and he is close, and he is down just at the half-yard line. Look at the players unfold as Emily Tallis gives us our camera shot right down the goal line.
About as close as you can get to scoring without scoring for Demir there. Another thing to look at, he's got these different colored gloves every week. He's got yellow, green, blue, and red ones now, kind of like Simon Says colors. Interested to see if Demir can punch it in here.
From the 1-yard line on second down, and it's a handoff to Demir White. He follows Zagonski, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Titans. Demir White from a yard away.
Demir White on Senior Recognition Day doing his best Tecmo Bowl Bo Jackson impression there. Gets in. That's kind of from your era, Mark. Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl. Demir gets the Titans another 6 on the board, up 54-0. See a replay of it here. Under center. Good gonna hand to Demir. Dagonski, the pulling guard, gets in for another 6.
And why not lead it for Gage Dagonski? Here's the point after. That kick is up, and that kick is good by Andrew Karana. But Dagonski had a 16-yard pass completion on the drive that leads to the Demir White touchdown and the Karana kick, and it's now Westminster 55 and Hiram nothing. We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment on your home of the Titans, WCN. Demir White with a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Titans have taken a 55-0 lead after the Karana point after. Westminster to kick off here to Hiram. As Karana will boot it deep, and that's going to be another touchback. Into the end zone as the wind has shifted just a bit. Actually at the back of Karana on that one, now 17 career kickoffs that are touchbacks. And you see on the screen here, Jake Miller, the backup quarterback, starting to get some throws in for the Titans. He's throwing with Quentin Good, too, so we'll keep an eye on who might come out on the next series, as Jake, a senior, will most likely get an opportunity at some point in this game. Get to some Dar Huey trivia in this quarter as well. Maybe after this play, we'll check in with Dar and his trivia. Saw Dar moments ago, coming down through the press box.
Got a few new guys out there for Westminster on the defensive ends. We got Andres Vallejo and RJ Scott, the new defensive ends for this drive.
Keep an eye on those. Andres has battled a lot of injuries throughout his Titan career. There's RJ Scott with a tackle for loss. RJ, welcome to the party.
One of our very own, RJ Scott, Titantown Sports segment producer, sports broadcaster. You'll hear him in the winter for basketball, in the spring for baseball and softball, but on the gridiron in the fall making plays. See RJ come off, grabs RJ Johnson. RJ on RJ crime there, and RJ wins.
2-yard loss on the play, and the first tackle for loss this year for RJ. And here's the run up the middle for Amir Lakes, who has played the whole way at quarterback. And Lake's going to run it out to about the 25. Lake's filling in for the injured Sean Tejeda, who's been one of the best passers in all of Division III and all of the NCAA this year. But no Tejeda, ruled out with injury. It's now 3rd and 10. RJ, Gene Gary Joseph, and Ben White, 3 guys who play on the football team, have all been part of our broadcast crew throughout the year. Gene Gary does a lot of work camera-wise. We've seen RJ in front of the camera and on the radio as well. Also putting together some clips for Titantown Sports. And then Ben White has done a lot of work, especially with the whole cat for Ben. Back to pass Lakes, long over the middle, pass is nearly intercepted. I don't know if Sleva got a hand on it Lamont Austin had a chance to get it. That was the good hand up there, I think. I don't know. Maybe it was the club hit. Either way, nearly intercepted. Let's take a look at some Dar Huey trivia on this Saturday afternoon.
You know, overall in the season, I've kind of disappointed myself on the trivia. I haven't got as many right as I feel like I should have, but we'll take a look at that when time allows. The punt situation now for Hiram.
It'll be Luke Hoskins to punt it away to DeSora. Pressure coming. Oh, Bright Cannon just missed the block. And DeSora going to, not DeSora, that was Ben White, I think, on the return. Not DeSora, but Ben White takes it in traffic. I thought maybe he's going to call for a fair catch, and I think at the same time the defense thought maybe he did as well, but I think he got maybe a yard or two on the return for Ben White in traffic. So just mention Ben White, and Ben gets the return.
Take a look at that Dar Huey trivia, Mark. The Titans began playing football in 1891. Which team did they play the most in the first 25 seasons? A, Geneva, B, Waynesburg, C, Grove City, or D, Allegheny?
Good question. We'll have the answer for that after this play. Jake Miller does come in as the quarterback for the Westminster Titans. Jake scored the first rushing touchdown of his career last week. 4 wides in the set. DeSora comes in motion behind the play. And Miller going to keep it. And Miller going to run it across the 45 and out near the 46-yard line. Let's go back to the answer of the trivia. I have an idea in my head. Your thought?
I'm going C.
You're going C, which is Grove City.
Yep.
I'm going to go D, Allegheny. What do we have? Grove City, the answer.
Boom. Good way to end. 28 times in those first 25 seasons. That's impressive. More than one time a season for Westminster and Grove City. But there we go. End the season off. Dar Huey trivia.
Good job by you.
On a good note.
Somehow I know he looked at that question ahead of time.
Nope.
I had 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's Miller. Hands off up the middle to Cannon Jr. And Clayton will take it to the 49-yard line, setting up 3rd down.
Use the matchup history from the Grove City broadcast. You got to think about it. You got to think about what team has been around the longest for Westminster. And
I know you have access to the graphics. That's all I'm going to say.
Nope.
That's all I can say.
I promise you. That's
all right. I believe you. I'll give you credit for honesty there. You've never been shady on the air.
New names.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. 3rd down and 3 from the 49-yard line. Travers comes in motion as he is checked in, and the handoff goes up the middle. And again, it's Cannon Jr., and he's going to have a 1st down. Some other changes in the Titan lineup?
Some more names for the Titans out there. Jake Miller, as you mentioned. Eddie Torres, Gianni DeSora, Giovanni Alcaceres, also known by Gio, for Westminster. He's going to sub off now. Christian Bailey still out there for the Titans.
Ashton Ames just checked in. Another offensive lineman, and it will be a revolving door of Titans here in the second half. Torres will go wide to the left with Bailey and DeSora. It'll be Cesar Travers to the near side on 1st and 10. And it's that's a keeper for Miller, rolling left, being pressured. He's going to run 40, 35. And how about the speed of Jake Miller out near the 30-yard line?
Jake Miller turning on the Jets, the biggest quarterback that gets often playing time between McGowan, Good, and Miller, but he's the most proficient runner out of the group.
And a nice run there for Miller. Jake on the season, 3 of 11 passing, ran for 33, and a touchdown against Allegheny. 1st and 10 for the Titans from the 31-yard line. A lot more cloud cover here in the second half. We had a little bit of sunshine in the first half, but a little darker, a little chillier here at Memorial Field inside Bury Stadium for the second half. Still a huge crowd, though, on Senior Rec. Here's a handoff up the middle. Cannon Jr. with a hole. 25 to the 20 to the 15, running hard and down to the 10-yard line. Finally tackled by by Navion Stedman, but not before a 1st down run. And more changes as the power unit comes in with Burfeld coming in off the bench for the Titans, as well as Shea Hartnett.
Predicting a QB run here, or something in this condensed look. Travers, the lone man to the near side. Eddie Torres to the far side.
1st down and 10. Motion across the formation, left to right for Hartnett. And it's It's a handoff, Cannon Jr. Cannonball coming, 3-2-1, and he's into the end zone, standing for the touchdown. Clayton Cannon with his 3rd touchdown run of the game.
Clayton, a hat trick on senior rec day. The junior making his presence known. A little dance there, a little celly. 61-0 pending the Corona extra point. See the replay here.
Get it to a second after the extra point. We'll get back and look at that replay. Andrew Corona attempt the extra point at the goal to our right. Sanson to hold. Rearick to snap. And the ball is down and the kick is up, and that kick is good. 6 minutes and 36 seconds on our clock. 3rd quarter, Westminster 62-0. Here's our replay of the Cannon Jr. touchdown run from 11 yards out.
Putting his helmet down, running right through the Terriers defense there.
Get a chance to get the push from Burfeld and push him back, and then dance together. Looking good.
Love to see it, love to see it. Looking at some other alumni gatherings coming up. Join fellow Titans during a special gathering at Coughlin's Law Kitchen in Mount Nebo on Thursday, November 13th from 5 to 7 p.m. Hosted by 1994 grad Heather Moffitt. This relaxed evening is the perfect opportunity for unwinding and swapping stories from your Westminster days. RSVP by November 10th this Monday by calling 724-946-7363.
Scott back to return with Jimenez. Get down to Ethan Kurtz in just a moment. Corona's kickoff is again going to get into the end zone. Bounced at the 1 and scooted in for the touchback, number 18. And let's go down to Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. With Clayton Cannon's 3rd touchdown of the day, it's the first Titan to punch in 3 on the ground in one game against Hiram since Sean Buggy did back in 2005. And now with 62 points, it's the most points that Westminster have scored in a game since a 66-14 win over Waynesburg back in 2021.
He has got all the nuggets right now. Ethan Kurtz, thank you so much for that. How about Sean Buggy was the last guy to have a 100-yard kickoff return, too, before this year in Bright Cannon.
That's before my time, Mark, but
I'll nugget right back at you.
Boom.
1st and 10 for Hiram from their own 25-yard line. And it's a keeper right side for Lakes, and Jack Bible will knock him down. Ethan, something to check on for you. Jack Bible is back in there after being somewhat ejected after the call. The targeting call, I don't know if the call has been erased or switched. It wasn't even Bible who made the hit. Walt Phillips might be the one. Actually, Walt Phillips is now talking here on the sidelines. Doesn't look like he's going to play anymore. So Walt finished the first half. Jack was tossed out for part of the half. It was reviewed at halftime. Jack's back out there on senior day. So actually glad to see both of the guys get an opportunity to play. Here's Lake's going to fire slant over the middle, and in traffic it's caught. Nagy makes a quick play defensively, but in traffic, Dylan Hargis, the tight end, makes the catch. On the throw from Lakes.
Hit right at the point of contact there by Nagy. Good catch made. Nagy injured in the weeks past, but looking pretty healthy today in the secondary.
That injury to his finger. Back to pass. Lakes going long near side, and this pass is caught. Coming back to the ball and making the catch was Dykes. And I tell you, if that ball's thrown in front of him, he may still be running.
Absolutely. Great release off the line. Beats Beyondre Charles deep. And now Hiram into Westminster territory.
Lakes now 13 of 25 for 99 yards.
Offside. Defense, number 74. Penalty declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
Titans' Caden Crown was called for offside, but that penalty declined.
News from Ethan Kurtz says that at half it was reviewed and flipped from Bible to Phillips, so Bible's good to keep playing. Phillips done for the day.
Right, so the targeting call stands. They did not remove that. There was some discussion as whether it's targeting when you're a runner as well as it was on that play. It wasn't a pass play. 1st down and 10. Back to pass. Lakes pressure coming. He's through a tackler, and he's down the sideline to the 30. Andres Vallejo so close to pulling him down right around that line of scrimmage. And you could actually see the Titan bench so excited as he almost made the play.
Yeah, one of the most universally loved players on the entire team, an RA at numerous residence halls. a triple major, and if you heard in the senior rec, it's criminal justice, sociology, and neuroscience, I believe, or psychology. It's stuff that is way above my pay grade and my level of knowledge. So,
2nd down and 4. Lakes back to pass. Pressure coming. Gets away from R.J. Scott. Fires near side. The ball deflected and intercept. No, it came through his hands. Deflected and nearly intercepted by Aiden Fletcher.
Aiden Fletcher, the athletic freak, tips it up to himself, dives, nearly had it. Would have been a Sports Center top 10 play there by the sophomore outside backer.
And you could tell by his reaction that he didn't quite have it. I don't know if we have a view for that on a replay or not. But what an effort by Aiden.
Yeah, RJ was there. RJ Scott, number 92 on the pressure. Kind of overcommitted on the quarterback, but got there. One of our broadcasting seniors along with Gene and Ben, who got significant playing time today. Ben on special teams.
Time not going to be taken by Hiram. So, yeah, Gene Gary Joseph, who wins a lot of camera. We talked Ben White, who does a lot with the whole cat, has done some broadcasting for us as well, and R.J. Scott, who does a little bit of everything, and he's very excited to get into basketball season. And, of course, talking about basketball season, we get underway with the women playing today against Manchester. The men play on Tuesday, so before you know it, we'll be full swing into basketball. Still one more week of football. Westminster will travel to St. Vincent next weekend. Ben Kelly and I will make the trip down to Latrobe for that. This basketball getting set up. I love always that graphic with the basketballs on there.
Absolutely. It's a great time. It's a busy time, especially in the winter once basketball gets going. You got games on Saturdays, on Wednesday nights, on Tuesday, whatever day the games are. You really get underway, and it's my favorite broadcasting season personally, the fast-paced, constant games.
RJ was talking to me earlier, and he said, what are you going to miss as a senior on the Titan squad? And he says, the banter and the road trips will be the thing. Definitely the guys on the bus, and that will be something. And Andres as well. How about Andres? You talked about what kind of guy he is and well-liked. He mentions the Case Western game and the big run by Sean and the Gene Gary pick. How about that guy? Doesn't have his own moment that he wants to talk about. He wants to talk about his teammates. That's why he's loved. Here's a pass over the middle. Nearly intercepted again. Poked away. Fletcher had a hand in there defensively, and also did Derek Carr, the defensive back for the Titans.
Westminster still playing stout defense. Some different names and different guys in Sebastian. Cody House in there. Chris Latone. Tyshawn Tate getting some action. Brady Poole far side.
Fletcher gets credit for the knockaway.
Sebastian DiNardo on that defensive line. Ryder Ekus. R.J. Scott, Andres Vallejo.
4th down and 4 for the Terriers. Lakes back to pass. Pressure coming. Fires over the middle. It's incomplete. Looking on the crosser for Devon Lewis, but threw it too high. And it'll be a Terrier turnover on downs.
Westminster trekking the offense back out there. Jake Miller and company.
Turnover on downs at the Westminster 32. Titans continue to pitch the shutout here against Hiram. Titans have been very stingy in second halves, averaging only 5.4 points given up in the second half of games this year.
Yeah, definitely one of the best defenses, not just in the PAC, but the entire D3 and the entire nation.
Take a look at some of the PAC scores when we get an opportunity. 3 receivers to the left and movement up front for the Titans as the Titans jump early. Look like
False
Ashton
start.
Ames.
Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Bethany over Teal right now with 4:46 remaining in the third, 14-6 in that matchup. Bethany looking to get their first win of the season. Waynesburg over St. Vincent, 2:30 remain in that game, 27-17.
3 receivers left. Miller going to fire it, and he one-hopped it, intended for DeSora, and saw a defender there, maybe why he threw the one-hop, maybe on purpose. And let's go back to Ben White. I had a chance to talk to Ben White and talked about senior day, and he said, his freshman year of high school, he talked to his grandfather who had passed away, and said, I want to do whatever I can to make him proud and help teams win. And says he's forever grateful to Coach Benzel for the opportunity to kind of continue that mission to keep Grandpa proud and play the sport that he's loved since he was a little kid at Warren High. There's a handoff up the middle. It's first care for Jackson Koval, and Jackson going to bounce it outside and powers over Terriers across the 35 and out to about the 38-yard line.
Jackson Koval kind of I don't want to say graduated from the long snapper role. Hayden Rarick brought in for that specific role, but Koval, not a long snapper on the punts anymore. Rarick this game has been the long snapper. Koval, really the RB3, solidified himself as the RB3 in this backfield as of late. Getting more carries by the week.
Yeah, Hayden Rarick was an all-state snapper, has been all year on snapping field goals and extra points. And Jackson's ability to get down the field made him very valuable as a punt snapper. 3rd down and 4 for the Titans. Miller has Torres in motion, fake handoff. Miller up the middle, runs over a man. He's close to a first down. It will be close as our linesman and line judge and head lineman, they're going to make it a little bit short as they line it up. They'll mark the ball at the 41.5. Looks like the offense may stay out there, but you see Miller getting low, put the shoulder down, and run over a man. Titans going to go for it here on 4th down and 1 from their own 42-yard line. 4 receivers in the set. Desora in motion. And again, it's a hand up the middle. This time it's Jackson Koval, and Jackson has just enough for the first down. Chains will move as Jackson's up to the 45-yard line.
Titans keep it moving. Trust their guys.
Jackson Koval got his first Titan touchdown last week against Allegheny as well. We had several firsts for the Titans last week. Mitchell Tingley going to check in.
Got a few firsts today. Sonny Castanzale first touchdown. Jack Bible first touchdown.
Now the defensive guys can get those touchdowns. Yeah. 3 defensive touchdowns for the Titans. 2nd defensive touchdown for Lamont Austin. Tingley in motion behind the set. And it's a keeper for Miller. And Miller going to run it out to the 50-yard line.
They like to switch an offense from the RPO kind of quick passing game with Quentin Good to an option-based offense with Miller, because the way he runs it makes it seem like there's 2 running backs in the backfield. You know, he's not going to stray away from contact or avoid any hits. He's gonna put his shoulder down and take a hit.
Jake, a cousin of Coach Scott Benzel, has talked about his time at Westminster. Says it's been a lot for him. He said to build a lot of lifelong friendships, learned great lessons from the coaches, and thankful that he was able to transfer here and finish with Coach Benzel. 2nd down and 5. Burfield in motion, high snap, and up the middle. And it's Jackson Koval, and Jackson gets the run going across the 35 to the 30. He's still going. He's out of the 25-yard line on a big run for Jackson Koval.
The big thing out of this backfield that Koval brings is power and balance. You see, he got hit up and the defense kind of stopped playing, but Koval will keep those legs churning and just keeps on moving. Gets down near the red zone.
Defensive injury, so a timeout on the field, but Koval with his career-long run right there. 1st and 10 Titans, ball the 24. Watch Jackson wearing number 21.
Just keeps the legs churning here. You see this initial contact right here. Everybody kind of stopped. He keeps pushing, chugging along, runs into his lead blocker, Torres. And
no credit there for the wide receivers blocking. That was talked about in the pregame, but Eduardo Torres, 17, leading the way. Getting some props. Mitchell Tingley. There's a look at Ty McGowan, number 6. Ty wearing the headsets, helping with the coaching staff with his shoulder and rib injuries, have cut his season short. There's a handoff up the middle, and Koval bounces it outside of the 20. And Jackson on top of the pile down to near the 16-yard line. And it's just been a great group of seniors from this Westminster team. It's amazing how many talked about the bowl game a year ago being, one of the cool moments. And when you talk about, what are you working on? What did you like best? And Mason Palish talking about that bowl game and his senior idea, and this will be the last play of the 3rd quarter as our clock runs out. But Mason says the last 4 years have been everything he hoped for in relationships and friendships, and most importantly, Coach Benzel and Coach Heck giving him the opportunity to play football. Take the break here at the end of 3 quarters. It's Westminster 62. It's Hiram nothing. We're back with the 4th, and we return on your home of the Titans, WCN.
As a recent graduate of Westminster College, I can tell you that my Westminster degree has already had a huge impact on my life. I had the opportunity to work with real businesses to solve real-world problems. I had the support of an amazing faculty behind me each step of the way. And I had multiple job offers before I even graduated. At Westminster College, I had real experiences that are leading me to real success.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Mark Slazak, Jacob Rhodes back with you here at Westminster College, and that play blown dead, so give us an opportunity to go down to the field.
False start, offense, everyone but the center.
And we'll come to Ethan
5-yard
Kurtz
penalty, second
in
down.
just a moment as he'll race to his microphone, gets the workout. He's a lacrosse guy. An extra workout's not going to hurt him. Let's go down to Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. I was talking to Gene Gary Joseph here in between quarters, and he said, I don't know who we have to be the player of the game, but he wants it to be the entire defense with how good they've played today. So, Mark, I don't know who the WCN Titan Radio player of the game is, but might as well give it to the entire Westminster defense. That's what Gene Gary Joseph says.
All right, tally mark, at least for that, and why not? Here's Miller back to pass, fires it, caught by Koval right at the line of scrimmage, and then pulled back. It's something to certainly to consider. It has been an outstanding day. The defense has scored 3 touchdowns, so just by themselves, they're 3 touchdowns ahead of Hiram with this 62-0 score. Any numbers popping out at you through 3 quarters?
Pretty much keeping it similar. I mean, there's not too many offensive numbers for either team that jumps off the page at me. Rushing yards has been pretty, 189 for Westminster, 5 to Hiram. That's the biggest discrepancy I see. Passing-wise, it's pretty similar, but it's hard to tell the difference between these teams and all that with Sean Tejeda being out today for Hiram. Definitely a game changer.
3rd down and 9. Back to pass as Miller fires over the middle, and it's caught, and is DeSora going to run it inside the 10-yard line? It's not DeSora on that catch. That catch is going to be
Giovanni.
Alcaceres makes the catch. With the 20 and the 26 comes off with his catch. Gio Alcaceres takes it down to the 4-yard line.
Giovanni Alcaceres, I was talking to him earlier this week, and I was talking to him about his drop, the hitch route he dropped. He said, I know, it's got to take advantage of opportunities. A career-long catch there, and also a first-gen college student is Gio.
Cool point, 2nd career catch for Gio. Here's a handoff, Koval up the middle, 3-2-1, and he's in. That's a touchdown, Titans. Jackson Koval will score, and the Titans continue to roll. Now with 68 points on the board.
Jackson shoots out of a cannon there. Couldn't even let you get your 3-2-1 there, and he was already in zone like a flash, like a blur, shot out of a cannon. Everybody thought Miller had it. You see the defense kind of hesitated there for a second. Jackson Koval back-to-back weeks with a touchdown for Westminster.
With a catch to Alcaceres, leading to the Koval touchdown. Karana, the attempt at a point after. The goal to our left, the kick is up, and that kick is good. Westminster now leads 69-0 as they score their 10th touchdown of the game. And 9 of 10 extra points for Karana. Let's go down sideline to Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. Jackson Koval, a Titusville alum. Back in 2011 against Hiram, a different Rocket graduate in John Proano had 2 touchdowns on 123 yards for the Titans. So a cool Titusville connection here we're seeing in the 4th quarter.
Very nice. I've got a trip to Titusville in my near future as I'll leave here and do a playoff game in Titusville after. So it's all Titusville all the time right now. But Jackson Koval with the run. Great nugget again for Ethan Kurtz. I think Ethan Encyclopedia Kurtz might be a good nickname.
I thought his middle name was Kenneth.
I like Encyclopedia. We could change it to whatever we want. Ethan Encyclopedia Kurtz. He likes it a little bit. I think that would be great on the lacrosse field too.
I like Kenneth.
Kenneth is also very good. I got nothing against Kenneth and the family name. Nothing against that. It's very fine, very proper. Here's the kickoff. Coming near side, and Jimenez will let it go, and it sneaks into the end zone. Does not bounce out of bounds, so the 19th career touchback, if I haven't lost track.
He's just adding them up. I mean, every single kickoff felt like a touchback for Karana.
It's been a great day for Karana, other than the 1 missed extra point. Had a fantastic kicking day. Westminster leads in this game 69-0.
Talking about more about Westminster, high school orchestras and individual high school string players are invited to attend a day of fun at the String Festival Day, motivating string-centric activities led by the Westminster College String faculty from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 15th. There'll be various events led by Westminster faculty, such as instrumental-specific choirs and combined string orchestra, a chance to perform with members of the Westminster string community, and a recital featuring Dr. Melinda Crawford-Purtu, professor of music and U.S. National Scottish Fit.
Long pass near side, nearly caught. Sorry to interrupt. Stapleton laid out, couldn't grab it.
Had to pause there. Going back to a U.S. National Scottish fiddling champion, adjunct instructor Michael Gelfand on cello and adjunct instructor Justin Bendel on bass. Music will be sent out prior to the event. Lunch and ice cream social are included, followed by a concert for families at 5 p.m. in Orr Auditorium. The event is free, but registration is required by Friday, October 31st. So a little late to register, but you can still pop out to the event, the String Festival Day, on November 15th.
Good back, Mar Lakes. Back to pass. Pressure coming from the outside. Steps up, pocket throws. This one caught by Stapleton. And a big hit defensively for the Titans. Tyree Mitchell, the freshman linebacker, to knock him down, but not before Stapleton picks up the first down.
Working with pressure. Lake's been hit a lot today, taking a lot of big licks. Still sticking in there in the pocket, making throws off platform. And Hiram now threatening to get into Westminster territory again.
1st and 10. From the 39-yard line. Big handoff. Lakes is hit as he throws, and this pass is incomplete, and flags will come in. Looked like the defensive back there just a tad early in Brady Poole. A couple flags fly in. I think we're going to get an interference call against the Titans.
Mar Lake's a little slow to get
Pass
up there.
interference, defense, number 37. 15-yard penalty, first down.
A referee, Anthony Lascola.
Tyree Mitchell in the backfield there on Lakes. Lakes looked a little shaken up, getting up after that play. Brady Poole just a tad early on the PBU attempt.
1st and 10 from their own 49 for Hiram. Lakes back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, fires down the field, and it's incomplete. Closest to the ball was the Titan on that play, as it was Derek Carr, freshman out of Irwin in Penn Trafford High School.
You know, I always think with stuff like that, like for example, Ohio State's leading rusher, who actually was a high school teammate of Hiram Terrier out there, Bo Lamar Jackson. I think people named after famous athletes. What do you think when you see, oh, a guy named Derek Carr is one of the best quarterbacks in Raiders history? That's exactly my name, how it's spelled, and you get, oh,
yeah.
Are you Derek Carr's cousin? Like, I don't know, something I think about sometimes.
Would cousins have the exact same name, though?
I don't know. I mean, Clayton and Clayton, they're brothers.
Those are brothers, they have the same name, that's true. 2nd down and 10, back to pass. Lakes looking and thinks about running, and now does run. Bird's gonna knock him down.
Alex Garcia.
Yep, takes another hit being chased by Garcia. Dallas Myers gets a hit on him too. Alex got a big sack last week. This time, Lake's able to get away. Third down and 3 from the 44-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And Lakes back to pass, looking, firing over the middle. Oh, nearly intercepted. Threw it to Cody Haas on that one. Tried to get the in route. Really read well by the linebacker Haas, who stepped up and had a chance to pick it off.
Head to toe, no matter who's out there for Westminster, whether it's the 1s or the 4s, the Titan defense has the same mentality and play physical and play the same. And if you didn't know the players like you and I do, you couldn't even tell a difference, in my opinion.
And I think that would be something that Coach Benzel would love to hear, Coach Heck would love to hear. Doesn't matter which guy you put out there. Guys just able to get the job done and make plays.
Caden Crown now out there for Westminster on the near side defensive end.
Back to pass. Lakes deep over the middle. That pass is knocked away. Christian Latone with a poke away on a nice play by the defensive back for the Titans. On the 4th down and 3, Hiram goes long, and the Titans will get the football back.
The junior Austintown Fitch alum making the play there. A perfect rep from Latone there, getting his hand there. Looked like might have had a receiver, Lakes did, but Latone gets his hand in there. Perfect PBU. You see his teammates celebrating with their smiles from Devin Mila from Lamont Austin, Mason Palich and company.
Mentioned Caden Crown, and on that last play, he's got a memory from his junior year at Waynesburg when he combined with Josh Elm for 4 sacks and 4 tackles and 18 solos on their homecoming. Big day for Crown. He's battled some injuries in his Titan career. There's a fake handoff. Miller rolling to his right, fires it far side. It's incomplete. Juggled over there by
Carlos Correa couldn't make the catch on the flat route there.
It was at Sam Wilshire. 80. Sam was out there as well. Correa. There's another famous name, Carlos Correa.
Yeah, when he got here, I looked at the roster and I saw that. I was like, what's Astro, Twin? It's
famous baseball player. Yeah, same name. Also, Caden mentioning as we go through his favorite memories of Titan. He said the bowl game last year, even though he was hurt, so happy to see the boys go out and completely destroy that game from start to finish. There's a handoff up the middle. Mitchell Tingley on the run. Tingley out of Lakeview High School. Started every way on the football field, did everything. Played some quarterback, played some running back, returner, kicker, defensive spot as a linebacker. He's been reliable as a Titan, the backup kicker, but also has played some linebacker here, played some running back.
Something you look at with a lot of these guys, and any player going into college, often in high school, if you're that good, then coach will play everywhere. I mean, every time you can get the ball as many places as possible, receiver, quarterback, kicker, punter, doesn't matter.
Ben White, 2 others wide to the right. 2nd and 6, Jake Miller, the quarterback for the Titans. Fake a hand, a fire over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Joshua Barksdale on the slant pattern.
One of those freshmen that have had opportunities on JV, yet to get some real varsity action now in, the freshman from Gwynn Park.
Yeah, everybody getting a chance to play in this one. It's been a fun one. Coach Benzel talked about the wildest first half of his career as he talked with Ethan Kurtz. 4th down for the Titans, 4th and 6 from the 43. We'll go down to Encyclopedia Ethan in a moment. Putting situation for the Titans. Craig Sanson will boot it away. Spiraling kick. Angled to the right side, and it's going to be another ball down inside the 20. What Sanson has done throughout the season. It's been a good kicking game for the Titans all year. Let's go down to Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Mark, I appreciate it. 69 points here for Westminster. The last time they scored that many in a game all the way back in 1905 against Slippery Rock. And then when you look a year prior to that, Westminster put up 76 against Allegheny. So this Titan team coming very close to the history books.
Thank you, Ethan. Encyclopedia Ethan Kurtz with knowledge for us. I hope things keep happening, so he has to keep digging deeper and deeper into the knowledge. He is working without a computer. He is not carrying a computer down there.
No.
He may be referencing that little computer in his pocket. I do see him pick up the phone once in a while, but I think he's just messaging his mother, asking about his middle name being changed from Kenneth to Ethan. Near side, the ball incomplete on the quick swing pass. Now into the game is Antoine Walder at the quarterback spot, a sophomore who comes from France.
Westminster's got players from all over. Every team in the PAC kind of likes to pick and choose their players. I don't think I've seen a French player.
Maybe mispronouncing, but Chevilly-Larue, France? I could just try to put a French accent behind it.
Wow.
Chevilly-Larue. 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers right. Motion left. Slant pass deflected high in the air, and it is incomplete.
He almost caught his own pass there,
He
Mark.
did. And that would count as a pass completion if he did. But the ball knocked away and high in the air by the Titan on-rushing line. They've been tipped by R.J. Scott at the line of scrimmage.
Westminster nearing a mark for this season. Most points scored by a PAC team this season, 75 by Geneva, 70 by Washington and Jefferson. Titans nearing that, one big play. And
3rd down and 10 for Walder. 4 receivers in the set. From the 17-yard line, back to pass. Walder rolls to his right, chased by R.J. Scott, and the ball walked away. R.J. ripped it away. It's loose. It's picked up. Titans have it, and they're down to about the 1-yard line. Picked up eventually by A.J. Bird. Are they going to say stepped out of bounds? Maybe at about the 9-yard line or so. But it's Titan football. R.J. Scott gets the forced fumble. Big smiles for RJ as it comes off the field.
Have to see the replay there. Both R.J. Scott and Vinny Perry in on that one. Perry really hyped after it. We'll see the replay who forced the fumble here. Looked like Perry knocked it out from behind.
That might be both.
We'll give it half. You can give half a sack. We'll give half a forced fumble. It's senior day and RJ's out there. Ben White to the near side as well.
Glad you can get both names in there, right? Titans will split wide receivers to each side. Jake Miller, the quarterback, and he will hand off. Mitchell Tingley banging it right side, gets down to about the 4-yard line before he's pushed back. Jake Fleischer checking in as a wide receiver for the Titans. 6'4" freshman, came in as a quarterback, but got opportunities here to play some wide receiver throughout the JV games, and now into the game right now. Jesse Vion and one of the cheerleaders for the Titans. Also talking about senior day, love being part of the Westminster cheer team for 4 years. Not ready for her time at Westminster to end. 2 receivers right, high snap, Miller rolls left, gonna go into they're down to about the 1-yard line, they'll pull him down. Gonna be second down and goal from the 1.
Gets it down to the half-yard line. Miller looking for another rushing touchdown, match Koval on back-to-back weeks with rushing touchdowns.
Talking to Walt Phillips, the things he wanted to say, no fake juice, as his words to pass along to teammates. I'll let you translate that in a minute. There's a whistles before the handoff.
I'm taking it as keep it 100, keep it 100%. Don't you know,
number
be
82.
who you are. This is the team that is very loud.
3rd down.
Very loud, very proud, and they're not scared to show their heart on their sleeve. And
I think that's exactly what he refers to. Play every game like it's your last. It goes fast, make memories, have fun, and always keep pushing. Walt Phillips, 5th-year player, graduate student, going after the Masters of Business. It's going to be 3rd down with the penalty back to the 6-yard line, 3rd and goal from the 6 for the Titans. Fleischer and Ben White to the right. And it's a roll to the right. Low pass caught by Hartnett, and he'll get down to about the 1.5-yard line, where it will be 4th down for the Titans. Mitchell Tingley will come from the bench and back out onto the field for Westminster. I want to give a shout out to Jack Shea. Jack kind of related in the tree with Gianni DeSora, talked to Grandpa as well. Jack was the guy that moved the gate, let me in the lot this morning. There was nobody around. Thank you, Jack. Little guy. 4th down and goal. Miller turns, hands off, Tingley pushes, and he's in! It's a touchdown, Titans! A little help from his friends, and Mitchell Tingley bangs into the end zone. The Titans have 75 points.
Westminster, that play just personifies this team as a whole on senior recognition day. A full team effort. Tingley gets stopped by the ankle here. His teammates help push him out of that pile into the end zone for another 6. You love to see it.
Christian McDowell, one of the seniors, give him an assist. Another big push. Here's Karana. Point after attempt, goal to our left. Snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up. And the kick is good. With 7:31 to go in this one, the Westminster Titans now up by a score of 76-0.
That now marks the most points scored by a PAC team this season, passing Geneva, who had 75 against Bethany a few weeks ago. As you see Coach Benzel, Coach Heck, really see both those guys having a smile and grin on their face on the football field. You love to see the emotion today on Senior Day.
No doubt about it.
Something you also love to see. Every Thursday, there's a show produced called Titantown Sports. Be sure to catch this week's Titantown Sports WCN show about college and high school sports. Each show is loaded with exclusive highlights, behind-the-scenes video, player and coach interviews, and so much more. Every week, there's something new, so plan now to watch Titantown Sports online on Vimeo, YouTube, and on WCN.
Yeah, just search it up in any of those spots. Kicking opportunity for Corona. We'll get down to Ethan in just a moment. Corona will boot it for a fair catch taken by Jimenez down at around the 10, so they'll get the ball out to the 25. Let's go down to Ethan Kurtz. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. Mitchell Tingley's first touchdown for Westminster, also his first since November 18th of 2023 in his final high school game, where he had 4 against Cambridge Springs in his 23-touchdown senior season.
We talked about his prowess at Lakeview High School. Thank you, Ethan. Not only does he know college numbers, he knows his high school facts as well. 76 points. Look that up. Tell us about that, too, just like Jacob did. The most in the PAC this year for the Titans. Walder, again, the quarterback's going to hand off up the middle, making a move to the outside and running over defenders out near the 40-yard line was Will Rumpel, freshman out of Aurora, Ohio, in Twinsburg High School. Rumpel 5'10", 200, wearing number 34.
Some of the backups in now for Hiram, as you mentioned. New quarterback, new running back. Same receiver group for the most part, as we saw in the first half.
Hand up the middle, and Rumpel shakes off one tackle, and then gets tripped up. And I'm giving that tackle to number 93, Andres Vallejo.
Andreas gets in there, an effort on the tackle. He claps. He's, as I mentioned, one of the most beloved guys on the team, works with public safety. Had an injury to his hand, had to have surgery on it, well, not this offseason, but last offseason. He's worked back. I mean, one of the hardest workers on the team. Nothing but good words to say about Andreas.
Gets that trip up on the tackle. It'll be second down and 10. 6:12 to go in this one. Here's a pitch for Rumpel, left side. And short gain, if anything, it's probably a tackle for loss, probably a loss of a yard on the play for Rumpel.
Tyree Mitchell in there on the tackle, along with a few other Titans.
Sonny Casanzale playing catch down here on the sidelines. Right here on the track. I don't even get a shot at it, but I think that's my guy, Jack Shea, who let me in. He's playing catch with Sonny. Now, Quentin actually taking the ball away from him. I don't know why. Quentin Good says, I'm the guy who throws. I steal the ball away from Sonny and can't play catch with a little kid anymore. Third down and 11. Here's run up the middle for Rumpel. Across the 40-yard line and out to the 41.
A little over 5 minutes remain in this senior rec day at Westminster at Harold Burry Stadium. Mark Slazak, Jacob Rhodes here live on WCN for the call. Westminster up 76-0. It's going to be a 4th and 7 now for Hiram. Punting situation for the Terriers, it looks like.
Ben White deep to return for the Titans. Hoskins to punt. There's my little guy throwing passes right there. There's Hoskins. Line drive kick away, and too far for Ben White to make a catch. It'll just roll. And down to about the 11-yard line. I was talking to that little guy, Jack Shea, before the game with his grandpa, and he was just talking about like hey, we're doing this game on TV, and we got cameras here and cameras there, and this kid was like lighting up thinking, I want to do that someday.
Love to see that. That's amazing. It's always good to show the youngins the fun.
And playing catch with the biggest guy out here, and Sonny Casanzale, Gene Gary Joseph, showing their quarterback skills with young Jack here on the sidelines. So Titans back out on offense. A high snap and a handoff up the middle for Westminster, going to Jock Dixon, who checks in for the first time.
Dixon dealt with hamstring injuries and issues all season. Was one of the higher touted backs for Westminster coming in, and was thought to have a big role this season. The hamstrings kind of prevented that. Nick Urey now in at quarterback for Westminster, his first action of varsity.
Well, a new lineman up there too. Ben White could have come to the near side. Urey the quarterback. Yeah, Dixon is a guy that could make a mark here at Westminster if he can get himself healthy. Another run up the middle for Dixon. Across the 20, looking to push the pile. Good force there by Dixon. He's out near the 25-yard line. When you talk about a hamstring injury in a football season, it's just something that's really difficult for that to go away. And Tate Beachy dealt with that the entire season, battling the hamstring from camp, and same with Dixon. But good to see Jock out there now, getting the job done. First down on that run, back-to-back runs for Dixon. 3 receivers to the right for the Titans. Ben White, the receiver, to the left. Urey takes the snap, again hands to Dixon, and not much of a hole this time.
See on the sideline here, Tate Beachy in full gear in a helmet. He injured at Grove City a few weeks ago with the broken clavicle.
Yeah, just dressing for the game today. Wanted to dress for senior activities, so did Ty McGowan. Neither of those two available to play in the game today.
Just making sure I saw the helmet on it, kind of.
If he gets out there, it would just be
victory formation,
an ornamental play, as he's dealing with the broken collarbone. 3 receivers to the right for the Titans. Widest on that outside is Keegan Young. And it's a run for Urey, and Urey's going to get his first carry,
Nick Urey with the carry
as a Titan, and he's out to the 30-yard line.
A few subs for Westminster, Micah Brown and Amari Watson out there for Westminster as well.
Third down and 5 from the 28-yard line.
Urey out there with Watson and White and Makai Brown.
And they're looking at the sideline for the play call. We're going to break the huddle with 5 on the play clock on third down. So look at Tate Beachy on the sideline. Here's a hand up the middle. And for the first time into the game is Amari Watson with his run. He's another young running back who has not had a lot of opportunities, but he has showed some really good speed, some power as well. First down on the run for Watson and move the chains.
So his background, he's a track guy, sprinter. That's his main thing. You see Beachy there on the sidelines. He came in as a running back, got flipped to receiver. Receiver wasn't working out. Flipped now back to running back. And he's getting carries here.
And we're down to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to go in this one, actually 1:54 officially on the clock. We'll take a break. We're back with more Titans 76, Hiram nothing on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Slow down. Save a life.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Distractions are everywhere. Don't drive distracted.
Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes. Ethan Kurtz on the sideline. Westminster Titans with a 76-0 lead here with 1:45 to go. Titans just taking a knee now to run this clock out. The senior cheerleaders are getting their opportunity to be lifted up on the shoulders of teammates and cheerleader style.
Yeah, some of the non-flyers,
yep.
Leah Buchan and
the seniors, yep.
Jess Vion.
Second down and 12, and victory formation again for the Titans. Taking a knee again is Urey. Clock at 1:13, and here come all the Titan seniors onto the field, including some injured players. Ty McGowan's going to take the snap. Tate Beachy will be in. Nate Wadsworth is in. Injured or not, what a moment for the Titan seniors as they all take the field in victory formation for one final play at home in the navy and white. Ty McGowan will take the snap. He will kneel down. The senior teammates around him. And what a moment for Westminster. On the final kneel down, the seniors will come off to a rousing round of applause. And I love how that ended up for the Westminster Titans. Clock is down to 17 seconds. You can see everybody's in the handshake line. No plays need to be run. And the Westminster Titans knock off Hiram by a score of 76-0. The Westminster Titans now go to 6-3 on the season, 5-2 in the PAC. Hiram goes to 3-6 on the season. They are 2-5 in the PAC. What a game for the Westminster Titans, winning it by a score of 76-0. We'll get Ethan Kurtz in just a moment. Take a quick break. Back with Ethan and Coach Benzel on your home of the Titans, WCN.
Slow down. Save a life.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Football is the game of life, and it brings the community together. White, black, boys, girls.
Flag, tackle. Football can revive communities.
That's why I think, football is on the right path.
Community with football is very accepting and loving to people who enjoy the sport. Win or lose, they do it as a family.
Ms. Stevens, I just wiped malware off our system. People have got to stop clicking unsolicited email links and downloading free software unless it's from a trusted source.
Sounds great.
We need a data backup plan in a separate location in case we get hacked.
We need to focus on making profits, not spending them.
Learn to protect yourself from ransomware. If you become a victim, contact your local FBI office.
Back here, Westminster College. Mark Slazak along with Jacob Rhodes. Westminster wins at 76-0 over Hiram. Let's go to the sidelines. Coach Scott Benzel with Encyclopedia Ethan Kurtz.
Thank you, Mark. Coach, Senior Recognition Day and a huge win to go along with it. How meaningful was it to get this big win on Senior Recognition Day?
Yeah, it was awesome. That last senior sort of send-off was pretty cool. We talked about if we were fortunate enough to get a chance to do that. So credit to Coach White. He thought of that all week, and it's really cool.
I was going to say, Coach, Tate Beachy, Ty McGowan, and Nate Wadsworth all going in for that last snap. Just talk a little bit about how much those players mean to this program.
They're everything. I mean, those guys are heart and soul of, our team. It's just unfortunate they weren't able to do it, healthy, but they mean everything to us. So this is what it is to be a college football player, especially at Westminster, so proud of those guys.
Coach, the defense, 3 touchdowns in this one. Incredible performance all day. How great was it to have that kind of a performance against this Hiram offense?
Yeah, I mean, listen, credit to our guys. It was awesome. It was unfortunate because Hiram's quarterback, he's a really good football player, wasn't able to, compete today. So I think that helped. I think the guys they had in there were a little unsettled, but we took advantage of it, and it was fun to see us, compete that way.
Definitely, Coach. Now, heading into next week against St. Vincent, this one, the last home game here of the 2025 season. What is it going to need to get another win there in Latrobe next weekend?
Yeah, we have to play a complete game. St. Vincent at Latrobe is always an interesting game for us. They're going to present some challenges, and, we'll rest up, but we'll be ready to close this thing out the right way.
For sure, Coach. And now, I don't know if you know this, but your first ever game, I would hope you remember this, was against Hiram back in 2014 here in New Owington. It was a last-second loss with 19 seconds left. Terry scoring a touchdown. Did it feel great to get a win over him this time?
The funny thing is, in that game, it was 24-3, and I thought, oh, my gosh, this is pretty easy. And, boy, did I find out it wasn't. But, yeah, it's pretty cool how time flies. But quick shout-out to my son, Everett. Good luck tonight and your flag football championship. Dad will be home to watch that one.
Thank you so much, Coach. I really appreciate it.
Coach Scott Benzel, Ethan Kurtz, thank you, gentlemen. Titans win this one by a score of 76-0, and yeah, good luck in the flag football Everett tonight.
Absolutely.
Coach's son, he was running around everywhere last week here and getting ready with that, but chance to take a look at some of the Titans seniors as Coach will make his way back out there, but Westminster gets a win by a score of 76-0 in this one to go to 6-3, 5-2 overall. And that will end it here, but what a game for the Titans.
Absolutely. I mean, all the keys that Coach Benzel touched on and wanted to be a point of interest today were a point of interest. Through the air, Quentin Good, 11 for 14, 132 yards. Clayton Cannon on the ground, 69 and 3 touchdowns. Receiving is those Cannon boys every week. Bright Cannon, 6 receptions for 107 and 1 touchdown. And an overall complete game from start to finish for Westminster on the offensive, defensive, and special teams side of the ball.
Time to take a look at our WCN player of the game, Titan Radio player of the game, and it's not a player.
Now, it's going to be a little bit of a unique one. We're going to give it to the entire Westminster Titan defense. As we mentioned, 3 touchdowns, a shutout today against Hiram, 4 sacks, 2 INTs, 3 touchdowns, and 4 fumble recoveries there. I like the picture for the Westminster Titan defense there.
No doubt. It is a giant D, and that's what you get. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 4 fumbles recovered, and campaigning from one of the big guys, Gene Gary Joseph. Who wants to upset Gene? Not me, so why not? It really was a great effort by the Titans. Sonny Costanzale, to point out a couple of guys, a fantastic game with a touchdown. Mason Manis with a big knockaway. Jack Bible scores a touchdown. Lamont Austin scores a touchdown. Just so much on the defensive side. And you know, we could just continue to go through names, and it's all Westminster, Westminster, Westminster.
Yep.
A good all-around game. Coach Benzel had 3 keys before the game, and the third key of the game was score a non-offensive touchdown, and boy, did they get that done, scoring it 4 times on the defensive side.
Absolutely. The defense showed out today, and Coach Benzel probably couldn't be any happier going into Latrobe next week.
No doubt. And as we look ahead to broadcasts coming ahead, it's a lot of basketball in our near future here for Westminster, and a lot of what's going on in the near future for Westminster broadcasts. Of course, we've got St. Vincent football coming up next week on the 11th of November. Allegheny women's basketball on December 3rd. Men's and women's basketball on the 3rd. And a Teal Westminster women's and men's basketball, all WCN broadcasts coming up on the 6th. I know we'll have a stream broadcast next week as well of Westminster and Juniata on the men's basketball side. Good luck to women's basketball. They get it going today, so much going on. I don't know if there's anything else on the schedule. Of course, Titan Town Sports always on the schedule as well.
Absolutely. Men's swimming and diving coming up Saturday, November 8th against Chatham. And there's stuff all the time, football, and there's stuff all the time.
Any other numbers on the score sheet that we just got handed to us before we zip out of here?
It's going to be that rushing was the big thing for me today. Looking at it, overall, Westminster 222 on the ground to Hiram 6. I mean, that's Westminster's MO. Don't give up rushing yards, and they're atop the PAC in rushing yards. And they did what they're supposed to do, took care of business today. And walking out of Harold Burry Stadium, Memorial Field, 76-0 victors.
Take one more quick timeout before we wrap it up to see if the guys get a chance to get maybe one more interview or two with a senior or two. So we'll take a quick break. Back with more in a moment. Westminster knocks off Hiram 76-0 on your home of the Titans, WCN. Final score in this one, Westminster knocks off Hiram by a score of 76-0, highest point output for anybody in the PAC this year. And also the Titans with their largest margin of victory ever against Hiram. It had been 40-0.
Almost doubled it today.
We gave the WCN player of the game to the Titan defense, and one of those Titans that had an outstanding game today was Jack Bible, and an interesting game too, because Jack was momentarily ejected from the game on a misidentification on a targeting call. Let's go down to Ethan and senior Jack Bible. Ethan.
Thank you, Mark. Jack, first career collegiate touchdown in this one. A huge performance defensively. The defense as a unit was named the WCN player of the game. Just tell me a little bit how much it means to get a win like this on senior.
It means a lot, especially going out with a great group of seniors. We all put the work, blood, sweat, and tears in, and to come out on senior day and put on a dominant defensive performance. It was really special, and I enjoyed every minute of it, so it was awesome.
And then for you specifically, I mentioned the touchdown. You said you had a pick six in your high school career, but other than that, you never had a defensive touchdown. How much did that mean for you to get the score as well?
It meant amazing to me. I mean, especially on senior day, my last ever home game. It's something I'll remember for the rest of my life, and I'll never take it for granted. So,
carrying this momentum into next weekend, the final game of your collegiate career, then, just tell me what's going to need to go right in St. Vincent there to get a win.
Same thing we've been doing. Just come out practicing. Getting on our details and all playing together. It takes all of us together to go out, and if we do the same thing we did this week, we'll come out with a victory next week.
Thank you so much, Jack. I really
appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Jack Bible. Thank you, Ethan Kurtz. Jack representing the defense, which was named as a group the WCN players of the game. That's going to wrap it up. Final thoughts, Jacob.
I got no words. A great Westminster W today, 76-0 against the Terriers. Great day for all the seniors. Everybody popped out. Everybody showed off, and it's just a great way to end the senior season at home.
No doubt. One of the few guys that can say I got no words and then give me a paragraph right after. But thank you so much. Hey, this broadcast brought to you by the Broadcast and Sports Communications program at Westminster College, providing real-world experience in today's media for tomorrow's producers. I'd like to thank the entire crew for their efforts in bringing this game to you. Partners Jacob Rhodes and Ethan Kurtz. Thank you on the radio side, Ben Kelly and Joe Salmon. Thank you, Director Jacob Walzer. On replay, Tom Rook. Graphics man, Blaine Smith. Audio engineer, Derek McLafferty. Camera 1, Damian DeVilla and Seth Carroll. Camera 2, Peyton Mell. Camera 3, Abby Richards and Sophia Commenda. Camera 4, Emily Tallis. Run of the wireless camera, Braylon Juzak and Adam Teixeira. Also on the parabolic mic, Dennis Jones. Thank you so much to everybody on the crew. Also, Gary Swanson for controlling everyone up there in the control room. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm Mark Slazak again telling you the final score of this one, Westminster 76 and Hiram 0. You've been watching Titan football on your home of the Titans, WCN. Good night.